finding my purpose. I don't know what makes me happy, don't know what makes me sad. I sit around and ponder emotions in my head. I give up, no matter what I do, not enough. I try so hard to stop, I give in to every single bad temptation. And I just wanna feel like a good person, a good person. When I wake every single morning now, I give up. No matter what I do, I give up, I give up. And I just wanna feel like a good person, a good person. When I wake every single morning now, I give up, I give up. I just wanna feel free without any expectations. So many people think they know me, but they only know my music. And there's so much opportunity, so hard to make the most of it. When you feel so depressed and your bed whispers just to stay in it. I think I've had enough of it, I know that I'm not gonna win. Surrendering my everything, I'm giving up, I'm giving in. Nobody understands what I'm going through. Can't explain when you don't come from it. I give up, no matter what I do, not enough. I try so hard to stop, I give in to every single bad temptation. And I just wanna feel like a good person, a good person. When I wake every single morning now, I give up, I give up. I give up, I give up, I give And I just wanna feel like a good person, a good person. When I wake every single morning now, I give up, I give up. I give up, I give up, I give up.
I wanna rush with you in the morning. I let it up to feel more alive. I want those eyes to never be lonely. Let's make this night the time of our lives. I wanna rush with you in the morning. I let it up to feel more alive. I want those eyes to never be lonely. Let's make this night the time of our lives.
Welcome to the LXC.
Ranks rise up, League of Legends pride, amateurs unite in LXC.
Okay, they stop.
Wait, hold on, we finish it. Maybe not. Take the fight. Front to back this. Get there. Oh, perfect CC.
Give me a reset.
Victory inside, shining in the night.
She's slowed. Yeah.
Yo, Jace, which one?
Doesn't matter. We can go through that one, end of that one.
We can hang out here, Jace, if you want to like try and bait him to like come into the bushes.
Glory on the stage, push the lanes and feel the rage. LXC we play.
It's like maybe like
I'll
show a
be
tower. Like maybe show a tower or something.
There's no way, right?
I don't know, bro. I saw this in a solo queue game earlier.
Oh, there is a way! There is a way!
Who are we
I'm
focusing?
done. Jinx. Right now. She's gonna flash.
Oh my god.
Hey, yo.
There's.
There's. Exhausted.
I got Lissandra thing on him? Yes.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Lissandra, the best level 1 champion.
Honestly, swear to god, it's so good. Again!
Shining in the night. And the ranks rise up, League of Legends pride, amateurs unite in LXC lights. Crusader League we fight, champions by our side, emerald dreams ignite our night. LXC we play, emerald all the way, victory in sight, shining in the night. Battlefields we roam, towers fall and foam, Nexus in our grasp, we stand strong. Summoners reach our stage, glory on the stage.
Hello and welcome to LXC. LXC week 4 for Crusader. We're actually watching OMT versus Syndicate Strokers today. And I was looking because I haven't cast these teams yet. These teams have both not been cast yet, actually, at all for LXC. I'm Scarlet Q and I'm here with Astro, who's very excited to be here, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, what else to do on a hump day? It's Wednesday. Gotta
Exactly.
gotta get some fun on today. How you doing, Scarlet?
I'm good. Excited to see these teams play because I always like looking out for new teams, especially in the mid weeks where teams have gotten a little bit more used to each other. But now they're gonna be on stream and figure out what that's gonna be like, and I think that's awesome. However, that's if we get a matchup. Okay, they're finally joining. It looks like so. We might be a bit delayed. Teams are being a bit slow, but that's okay. It happens. And according to what I've got for the roster sheet, and this could change, although it looks like at least OMT Zeus is staying the same. We've got some lane mix-ups, which is really interesting.
Yeah, always interesting, especially if it looks like there's some mid with support swaps going on, which can lead to tendencies of trying to play the same champs you're playing bot, like Seraphine or something, and try to swap it in the mid. So we'll have to see if they're going to take that toy away.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in why Dark Magician Girl and Dawn Chlorine switched. Curious if there's like a specific meta thing they're finding, or just like, I'm gonna play mid this week. I'm gonna look and see in their previous games if this has also happened, because obviously rosters were submitted at the beginning of the season, but they're not necessarily beholden to them as long as they let the opposing team know well beforehand who's playing. Let's see. Where's the best way to look up that stuff? There's some nice screenshots if you guys look in the Discord of all the win screens, I believe is available to everyone. So you can see what happened the last few matches. For example, about OMT. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm still looking through these screenshots to try to figure it out. It looks like last week, Dark Magician Girl played Nautilus, and I'm assuming that's bot lane, and Dawn Clearing played Quirky mid. So this is a swap for specifically this week, it looks like.
Now I'm gonna have to correct you on this one, Scarlet. Apparently, you have not seen The Godfather. It is Don Corleone. Gotta give you
my
the
mistake.
Italian flair.
Right. I'm just looking through some past weeks to see if this is something that they've done at all before. I don't think it is, because week 2 they had a bye. Let me just double check the schedule to make sure that's verified information. Yeah. So they had a bye week 2. And then week 1, yeah, Dark Magician Girl was playing Sonobot, so she has decided to go mid. And I believe the rest of the roster is the same. No, their jungler is also different from week 1 at least. So, these kind of things happen. It's not that big a deal to role swap at this level, especially whenever like you're in the middle of the season. But it is interesting to question like what happened that made them want to do this. Like, is this just for fun, or is it because their jungler changed, or who knows? The meta
Could
change or
be
anything.
team composition as well. They're not the only ones. It looks like Syndicate as well. Hep was rostered as ADC and will now be in the jungle. So Syndicate as well might be doing some swaps. Has Hep played in the jungle before for Syndicate? Do we have it?
I have the screenshots. They're just all jumbled together. Give me a second. So, let's see. For last week, week 3, Syndicate was against Optimal. And in the screenshots, they had Instrument in jungle and Happen 80 carry. So yeah, I believe they don't have Instrument, which was the 80 carry, the jungle they played last week. Why? Oh wow, I was not expecting the draft to start. I was honestly ready to go on this tangent for like 10 minutes, but it looks like the teams have caught up.
They
and
caught
we're
up
in.
real quick and said we are going straight to draft straight away. LeBron being taken off the board here. We'll have to see here what the response is. See if they're going to try to ban out some of the Dark Magician Girl. See if with the limited pool she might have going into mid, they might try to target it right away. See MF ban though.
Yeah, even at her solo queue, I'm not seeing mid laners. So I don't even know what you would target if you're trying to target her.
Seraphine. I would target Seraphine.
I guess. I mean, I haven't even seen Seraphine on this list either for support.
Lucian being banned. Hue or Aurelia. Somebody. What's the hate with Aurelia these days? Seen her banned?
Have you played against her?
Wait,
no. Okay, sorry.
I
no,
play
but
Cass and Vigar, so I just laugh at Aurelia. I don't.
fair enough. I do think that it's kind of like other things in the mid lane are getting weaker, therefore the things that just haven't been touched in a while are still pretty strong. But also that champion's just not fun to play against. Ezreal blind pick is really nice. But it does leave the question of what do you pair it with and how do you answer an Ezreal who doesn't put out that well, I mean it just depends on how you want to play the lane in the matchup.
I mean the Caitlyn Morg and paired into the Ezreal. I can see that working out. It depends on how comfortable the new ADC is with that type of matchup.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think that what happened is they wanted to replace the jungler, or the jungler became unavailable, I guess, and so they got a new player, and it happened to be an AD carry player, and Hep's like, "Don't worry, I'll jungle, it's fine." And Kaisa is the pick. I really like this. She can scrap with Ezreal early if she has to, if she's got the right support, but also she just immensely outscales if Ezreal cannot put out the pressure. Feels really good to be in that matchup with the counter pick. But you want a support that can handle the Ezreal poke while also dealing with Udyr. That would not be on my list of blind pick jungles that we would see this early. But
all right.
Whenever you switch roles like this, sometimes you do have a champion pool that's a little awkward for the meta. because I don't see many jungle games for Hep at all in solo queue, and I don't know what they're scrimming. So
Do you see the
sometimes you just
Nautilus
gotta play
coming
Udyr.
out? And do you see the Gragas?
Nautilus. Interesting.
Now the Nautilus could be played mid. You can.
Okay, well let's be real.
Let's go mid Nautilus. Let's go. I want to see it.
I don't think so, but maybe Dark Magician Girl has it out for something strange for us. But I
used
do
to
like the
play
Braum
not mid. It's fine.
into what shine. I really like the Braum into what shine though. Really being able to disengage well, handle the Ezreal pressure, and set up some really nice fights late game. The Udyr is still a bit of a question mark for me, but if Hep can make it work, the comp looks great so far for Syndicate. And then for the other side, I mean, I'm gonna treat the Nautilus as going support for now.
For now, for now,
For now.
the
Especially
pick
since
this early invites a counter pick and invites a Shyvana pick early and it invites big hard counters to Udyr that can really disrupt and get in Udyr's way. So we'll have to see if they're going to try to band out some of that jungle pool. No, they opted to take that Malzahar out though.
they do not believe that it's a Nautilus mid, and Aurora has been enabled. I haven't seen it yet on stream. I don't know if I missed a day like yesterday, but since her enabling, I don't think that team has played it on stream at least.
I haven't really
Kinda-
seen it. I mean, I see it a lot mid, just in solo queue, and I'm not a big fan of it in mid. I think it suffers to a lot of the big AP mids. It's really great top because it's got that longer lane, but yeah, I was hoping I would see it on stream from a top player, but it looks like they're opting not to go there.
Yeah. Now, what does Syndicate Strokers pick here? Most likely their top laner, so that way they can counterpick the inexperienced Dark Magician Girl, who is probably not playing Nautilus. I don't believe it. And it looks like they want to go with that route by picking Scion here. That is a lot of beef for Syndicate Strokers.
That is a lot of beef, but it also invites some Vayne top counterplay. Come on, I want to see it.
Okay, well, I suppose Vayne is a possibility. I would not want to see my top laner pick it in this case, but if your top laner believes in it, yeah, it's great. It just has a what? Wait, actually locked in. That's so interesting.
Boom!
I guess
I called it.
Okay, but what? I'm sorry.
Oh, even better.
So is this Shen mid?
We've
jungle?
gone back in time. It is now Vayne is going to be mid and the Shen is top. That's a Vayne. That's
Okay,
probably
that's
Vayne.
your prediction, because your guess is much better than mine. I've got no idea what's going on here.
I mean, unless the Ezreal's going mid and we're going back to blue EZ days, but
they Kennen into it. Interesting. Okay, but here's my problem. If the Vayne is to counter the Scion, why would you then put it mid into counterpick where they get to counterpick anything into it? Well, I guess they don't know that it's Vayne mid. Dark Magician Girl is cooking something, right? Switch roles, give me something crazy, whether it's Vayne Ezreal, I don't care. They're gonna be so confused. We're gonna have to update you live with the champions. Like usually we use this time to talk about the drafts, but all I want to talk about is where the hell these champions are going.
I'm standing by my statement that Vayne is mid, that Shen is top, and
Okay.
the only other way I can see that working is the Vayne is top, the Nautilus is mid, and the Shen is the
Oh yeah,
support.
of course, the classic Nautilus mid. Right.
All right, that would be the other way you would play that.
Yeah, and as for the flex
we'll
on
see.
Syndicate, it doesn't look that flex. It looks like it's just Kennen mid. I mean, it could be Scion mid, I guess. But then Vayne would possibly struggle with the mid lane because of the vulnerability, but not if it's into Scion. I don't even know, like, what if Syndicate Strokers is sitting here with their flex picks? Like, we actually don't know how to flex them.
Yeah, we don't know who to put where. Yeah.
Because it feels like there's some random champions here on my screen.
Unless we're all wrong. It's Kai'Sa mid, it's Kennen bot.
All right, we're gonna get the first lock in here for the top lane of OMT Zeus. It's gonna be within the next 20 seconds. We will know. Why are they holding us in suspense? They know, right?
They know. They're doing it on
It is
purpose.
Shen locked in top lane. Kennen locked in against it, so that means Scion is probably going mid. Surely we see the Udyr jungle, right?
I think that's a fair assessment.
I mean, unless it's like, yeah. They're also holding us in suspense. Like,
Like,
come on,
do
just lock
we-
it in.
Do we
There's no
want
choices.
to?
Okay, Udyr has been locked in for jungle for Syndicate Strokers, and then Gragas jungle makes sense. And then what is Dark Magician Girl playing? Dark Magician Girl has locked in Ezreal mid,
Gonna be
and I
the
believe
Ezreal.
that's into Scion, where he will definitely succeed, right? Like, maybe you're not shutting down Scion, but you're certainly getting a lot of experience that Ezreal normally doesn't get, because he's normally with a support, and he's very safe mid lane. I mean, it could be dangerous if you let the Scion get out of control, but I just feel like Sion's going to be under tower, and that pressure on the tower is going to be very real.
Well, the problem is with the Ezreal pick into the Scion is that, yeah, the first couple of levels, the Sion's going to eat a lot of damage from the Ezreal, but there's going to get a point from the Scion where the shield, the Ezreal's not going to be able to break it, and if he gets any sort of assistance from the Udyr to pressure the Ezreal can't actually wave clear all that fast. So once
That's
Scion
true.
can start clearing the wave out, Ezreal is going to be in a tough spot because he's not going to be able to be able to clear the wave out as quick. So I will have to see if Udyr is going to apply that pressure to buy Scion time to stop the farm that Ezreal's getting. Interestingly enough, the Vayne into this bottom with the Nautilus, with the Kaisa and the Braum, that's actually rough for
Yes.
Vayne.
It's very funny that you flexed the Ezreal, you blind picked Ezreal, so that way they picked Kaisa, you flexed it, and you still ended up with a bad matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Vayne and Nautilus, it needs a lot of love early on against the Kaisa. She's going to be able to dictate. If the Vayne gets caught out at all from a Braum proc and Vayne gets stunned, it's pretty much goodbye Vayne. You're not getting any farm or anything accomplished, so she needs some TLC early on.
And I get it, because you are like, well, we have our AD carry up. They've picked a bunch of tanks. Vayne's great here. But you have to get through the laning phase as well. Regardless, just as a last update, to clarify, it is Shen top, Gragas jungle, Ezreal mid, Vayne and Nautilus bot lane for OMT Zeus. And then for Syndicate Strokers, it's Kennen top, Udyr jungle, Sion mid, Kaisa Braum bot lane. And that will be the lineup that we will see after a quick break whenever we get back on the Rift.
Get those predictions in.
Let's make this night the
welcome back to the Rift for Omega Titan Esports versus Syndicate Strokers, and I'm gonna keep the intro short because the teams are looking to fight, and that is a Nautilus that is ready to hook. But it looks like Syndicate Strokers is ready for this. They know Nautilus hook does not work well if you hit 5 people.
I was curious what was going to happen here because with the Nautilus, you're always going to try to invade. They've elected to go the same way that they're waiting for, so here comes some fireworks.
Oh, the Scion Q just absolutely obliterates Nautilus. He's gone. Don Codriano does not survive. And now Sylvester has to run. She is probably going to make it because of that knockaway. Maybe it's so close. No, actually, Kennen gets it. Now Sion's in the middle of everyone. I don't even know. I guess Gragas is also just a complete disaster for a Mega Titan. I don't even think Dark Magician Girl gets to escape. She started Q, so she will also go down. At least she holds her flash. But that's 4 kills at 1 minute.
Youch.
My prediction is still open, by the way, if anyone wants to snipe it. I think it's closing now.
That hurts. Predictions are closed.
Just like, wait a second, maybe I want to put in some points there. That seems like a pretty good start. Looks like it just closed. Regardless, how do you even begin the game now? Your Gragas is pathing towards top, which is like one of the least affected lanes, I guess, because Silent Hearts wasn't able to. Oh, Hep, 80 carry main. Okay, looks like he's fine. Looks like he's fine. Sorry, didn't mean to call him out there. He did it perfectly, so we're good.
Professionals at work here. So
Right.
actually, he got 2 kills. He's gonna have huge advantage. I'm curious why he didn't back immediately because he could have immediately invaded Gragas and put Gragas in big trouble. Instead, it looks like he's going to opt for the first part of his clear. We'll have to see how that plays out. Because, yeah, you're right. Gragas is going to try to path to the top here, but it's a Shen.
Yeah, this is the only lane that didn't really get to, like... I mean, I guess Sion also didn't get to get items as well. But it's still Ezreal into Sion. Although Dark Magician Girl put in some pressure down. Gets that Q, which was really good for her. So, yes, once Marquise recalls, that's a lot of gold that he gets to spend. But Dark Magician Girl is getting a small lead for herself right now, at least.
We'll have to see how the new dichotomy with Shy is playing with Don Carleone. I can't imagine they've had a whole ton of practice. And typically with Nautilus, you want to push the aggression and land a hook. And stand in front of your...
You cannot do that into... You don't want to do that into Doran's Blade Longsword Kaisa with a Vayne. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. You were trying to get whatever CS you can. The fight here looks kind of tough because if that stun happens... Oh, the hook misses even! Now, I don't think this is going to lead to death, but this lane is going to be so hard. Shyvesta trying to get whatever trade she could get back. But man, that cannon is going to be the easiest Crash Luxodon has ever had.
But Udyr already pathing this way, already coming down here, going to collect this scuttle. And then it's going to get real interesting from here if he's going to try to push a gank. Both are already pushed to the tower, or if he's going to elect...
Wait, Dark Magician Girl does not respect the teleport back. She has teleport right now, but... Okay, it doesn't look like it's that dangerous, but definitely going to miss some CS for this staying. Actually, working with Young Goblin and gets first blood, another kill! So I almost said first blood. There was a few first bloods before this.
It was a first blood a while ago.
But still, after starting 0-4, getting that first kill by what I thought was a mistake of letting Marquise get the teleport back in, just taking some trades while you're really low health, low mana, and baiting him in, worked out really well.
Did not respect the Ezreal combo. Took way too much damage there. But Udyr on the back end of this, collecting camp, able to clear that out. Going to cost Gragas a little bit of XP on his backside, and we'll have to see if he's going to push it.
Okay, he's going for a gank. He doesn't have items right now, though, and the Q misses. They might get Nautilus, but Shyvesta's safe, and even Nautilus is able to get out. Not quite. Dies under tower, but it's not a complete disaster. And Udyr still needs to recall and spend that gold, but right now he's spending time trying to get this crash off. They can't even... I mean, I guess the wave is pushing out, so it'll be okay. But I'm a little bit worried about how they get the reset with Young Goblin there. Like, Shyvesta looks like it's in a bad spot because the wave's pushing out, but with Gragas here and Nautilus coming, I think she might be able to turn something, so they are calling Young Goblin off for now.
Ooh, he stopped his But he's waiting now, so Shy just step up.
Yeah, Shyvesta gets a good bait in. There's no flash for Luxodon. She has barrier, so maybe... Oh, nope, not even using the barrier, and Tilted Towers comes in as well. They could give the gold over to whoever they want. I imagine they're going to give it to Shyvesta. Nope, they give it to Young Goblin. Don't want it to all go in one place. Oh, wait, just channels right in front of him! Dark Magician Girl says his ultimate is for melee range and gets a kill on Marquise in a lane that no one thought a solo kill was coming out like that.
Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, Cyan's, like, if he dies early, it's not that big a deal, but, like, maybe a little bit more precaution could be used there.
He's using the Int Scion strategy approach.
Right, either way, this fight top lane, but a Hep is here. Now, they are giving up Dragon for this, but there should absolutely be a kill. And it goes over to the Kennen. That top lane looks really hard for McFlurry now. Even though he didn't die in the initial 0-4, Kennen got at least one of those kills and just got gifted another.
They're immediately going to go over and start collecting on objective and trading, getting a kill in the process, obviously, but he'll take the Woodrups.
Okay, so here's Marquise back with a full wave as if that solo kill didn't happen. And I don't think there's... Well, actually, Dark Magician Girl looking to force it a little bit. Uses the E, doesn't quite dodge the stun, however. But look at Marquise's health. Like, Heb's not coming. How are you going to protect your plates on the backswing?
Not certain why he's not respecting that damage coming out there from the easy, but he's eating a lot of damage he shouldn't have to eat.
Yeah, even taking the Q there, it looked like there might be a minion away, but Dark Magician Girl is able to just slightly get it in, and she's willing to melee trade with the Scion, because Scion doesn't have the ability to get out. She has the ability to get in. Misses the Q, misses the R, so it's not a solo kill, but the lane state is heavily favorable towards her. With both supports here, I don't know if they know they're both there. AD carry is obviously saying, like, hey, we're alone. Support's probably somewhere, and they will make the path back down bot lane together. Holding hands figuratively through the river. Tri-bush.
CS is kind of normalized across all the lanes, thankfully, so not seeing too much of a gap there. Vayne has carved herself out a slight lead.
No, that's not a lead, because look at that wave. That Kai'Sa's going to catch up so much. As long as Kai'Sa doesn't miss, like, 70% of that wave, Kai'Sa's actually going to have a benefit there over Shyvesta. But you take that, you know, yes, Kai'Sa has a bit of a lead, but Shyvesta is not going to have a problem in the late game as long as she's scaling up still.
Marquise just taking too much damage here on these trades. Needs to hurry up.
Oh man, I feel so bad for McFlurry. Like, the level 1 went poorly, and then just a gank, and now your lane is just unfun for the rest of the game. Okay, wait, this fight is actually looking to be pretty big. All 6 members of the bot side of the map are here, but Hep is just getting camps right now, and it looks like that was a good call, because Young Goblin was not able to force anything and just gives up tempo, while Hep is still full clearing. Even using some tempo here, and an ultimate, they just want to kill Marquise. He gets the ghost out. That should be another kill. I don't think it was that much gold, though, because it is an 0-2 now 0-3 Scion, and of course the wave clear here is really annoying. But you still take it, and now bot lane the fight's coming in. Hep's looking for a stun. Just a little bit slow flash out over there just to make sure Hep can catch it with the ghost. And jungler's using cross tempo plays. Mid gets a kill, bot just gets sums, and I think Hep might get face checked here. Doesn't matter that much though. I don't think Young Goblin really wants to fight that much. Oh my god, top lane. Is he just dead? McFlurry having to get out. Barely getting Silent Heart's ult at least, but again, that wave or that tower is just so hard to play around a Shen. It's still, I mean, Kenneth's not even leaving. That's another plate, and I'm not sure how McFlurry stays safe at this point.
Tower hugging is the appropriate term there on staying safe.
Yeah,
but tower.
But unfortunately, this just means Shen ult isn't online for anything. You don't want to give up that many plates to a Kennen just for a play unless it's like at least second dragon. So Shen ult is just going to be off cooldown, sitting and chilling. In fact, they might make a play towards this. You can see Braum coming up here and Hep invading heavily, trying to quadrant out this quadrant and say it's ours. Now, Nautilus has come to try to equalize it a little bit, but one camp's already down to Hep. And this cannon is infinitely more useful than Shin, though Shin is recalling so that way he can get that ultimate, which is this is the one case where you can use it, where you recall and force a fight up here so that we can be right back at your tower after the fight's over. But that's still 2 plates down to Silent Hearts while the play is being set up.
Now we're gonna have to see these two ADCs down bottom. Wow, actually it's going the other way. I thought Kai would bully the Vayne, but right now the Vayne's actually getting more poke out.
Yeah, and honestly, they're just looking to farm unless Luxinen gets a really nice W passive proc, or Shayesta gets a really nice stun. I don't think there's going to be a solo kill down there anytime soon. But this does mean Grubs trade evenly both ways. Oh, blind Q? Not quite. Almost, though. Closer than you would have thought.
Pretty close. The dragon is up, however. We'll have to see if they're going to really fight now that Shin's got his ult. He does need to stay safe, though.
Yeah, the problem is, if you use Shin ult for second dragon, you have to guarantee that you get soul pretty early, because you're making a big problem with that cannon. Although then again, maybe Shin isn't able to do anything even if he doesn't ult. Like, that tower might go down anyways with him being there. Dark Magician Girl trading kind of heavily, but this time it looks a little bit more Marquise favored. Now Dark Magician Girl has no mana, and she's about equal health with Sion. And again, you mentioned the no wave clear. I think Marquise, however, is just taking a little bit too much poke. Flash in, gets the kill, should be able to just walk away. The speed up from Marquise, maybe, but there's an E off cooldown. It's so close. Oh, just gets it with the last auto.
Able to trade that back. Now you have
Honestly,
the advantage here. You take that as a Scion.
Honestly, what if McFlurry just like E'd out and ulted to save Sion from getting gold? You give up the tower, but you're probably gonna have to do that anyways, and you take the dragon? I mean, I don't know. That's just like speculation, but look how much Shen is doing up here anyways without ulting. Not much.
Yeah, unfortunately at this point, the Kinnon's in control of that matchup, able to just exert the pressure, but they still get the dragon. Young, able to get in there. It might be the inexperience of Hep of just not having the timing of some of these objectives and really trying to get those dragons. So he's going for that Shen. He wanted to try to go kill him.
Yeah, but this does set up for Omega Titan a really nice win condition of that soul. You know, yes, Sion is scaling. Yes, Kennen is going to be a problem, but if you get soul, it's not a big deal. Meanwhile, Sion is getting engaged on again, but McFlurry is the bigger one in trouble. A lot of ultimates used. McFlurry should go down. Easy dive, and I think Sion just walks away. And I don't know that Young Goblin can really pick up anything here top lane. I think our tower's dead. Meanwhile, Dark Magician Girl ulting at Sion's Q. Does not care. She just wants to get the damage out. Gets the W cooldown off. I think Marquise might want to choose to walk away here, but he disagrees. Now, the mini wave means that he is going to not take that Q damage, and Braum is here, so it's okay. But wow, he's playing that on the edge again. Just does not care about that death score.
No, it's a tactical loss. If he's got a suicide on the tower again, he knew he was going to take the tower if he died. He was going to make that sacrifice.
It is true that despite Marquise's early deaths, that tower is one plate left for the Dark Magician Girl. Plates have just now fallen, but it's a ton of gold for Marquise, and it's a ton of pressure if Ezreal cannot continue to protect that tower.
Yeah, the other issue here, Sion does actually have a little bit more CS than the Ezreal, and Sion's wave clear only gets better.
Yeah, so I think that this is kind of the signal to OMT, you know, this cannon's going to be a problem, this Sion's going to be a problem. They're giving up mid tower for this right now, I believe. I don't think our Magician Girl can walk in and save that tower. So they've really got to focus on these dragons and get them as soon as they spawn without issue. Because if they don't get this... Oh, he's into it! This is a real... No, it's not a real commitment. You don't know where the rest of the team is, but feels really nice to get that blind Q.
I think if he'd have been in solo queue, he might have said, pulled the trigger, but he's like, nah, I can't do that here.
No. There's too many people not in vision right now. But it did look like it was close. So Shayesta looking to dodge a Q and then she'll be fine, but oh, okay, but she's committed here. There's some people coming. Ezreal actually does a lot of damage. Shen ult as well. And suddenly, everyone's here. I think that Luxodon ult's out, but the Nautilus ult is coming in. Shayesta lives with the barrier, does so. Now just has to dodge through Udyr, but will die, but they get the Udyr as well. And, however, just to be clear, they committed a teleport and a Shen ult, and they only got a 2-for-1. You know, it looks nice. You got the kills, you got the bonuses, but look at how much Ken is getting dead top lane. Oh, they might get some more damage on Marquise, but there's no way that guy's dying anytime soon.
Shy 100% could have lived, but she thirsted for that kill so much.
So Kennen just completed the top tower. That's so much gold going over that isn't reflected in the kill score. Flashes the ultimate, gets the ult off, shouldn't have a trouble as long as he can. Oh my god, get the kill! Does get taunted, which is what I was about to say might be a problem. So it will just be a 1-for-1 trade. And that is a shutdown to Shen, but you got tower and you got a kill. You're pretty happy regardless of the shutdown. Dark Magician Girl trying to make something happen, but the training dummy she's hitting is still a Scion. It's just not happening.
You know, McFlurry felt really good about finally able to kill that cannon, but they've ignored that cannon so much.
But they gave up an inner tower. Yeah, they gave up an inner tower and Young Goblin's like 300 gold because I don't think that he had a deficit of gold. So it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
Don't like the trade there. You do see that Pep just continuing and kind of just content to farm here. It really needs to start pushing these objectives. They really want to get control of these dragons. They do have a 5k gold lead.
Yeah, and the this might be a fight. Brom's kind of trying to break it up, like, get out of here, break it up, bring it up, no fight here. But you're okay with giving up the first 2 dragons if you get this XP and gold lead, because the next 4 dragons are super easy. Speaking of which, getting caught by the Nautilus, Shayesta trying to do something but kind of has to run away. Coleon gets a hook, and now it is actually the Udyr that's in trouble, goes down. Scion will live for a while, but maybe not enough. Gragas also gets Kennen out of position. And, I guess I was wrong. I guess you just lose the next 2 dragon fights because somehow, despite having every advantage, they just don't play the corridor correctly. And, the Nautilus hook was really good.
The Nautilus hook and the Young ultimate there kept catching them out and able to get a lot of work done in there. Kaisa wasn't in a good position to kind of rotate over, and the cannon wish had been there coming in on the backside a little bit earlier. So again, OMT looks like they're going to get another dragon.
Yeah, and this is what the risk of what you were talking about. You can give up 2 dragons if you're sure you're going to win the next 4 fights. But if you lose 1, suddenly you're under so much pressure. Because with 3 dragons, there's so many plays you can play. You can go for the 4th dragon, which would be Soul, and that would absolutely win the game. You could even make them go to dragon and go to Baron yourself and get a Baron for yourself with 3 dragons while they only get their first dragon. You know, this is where giving up the first 2 dragons does have a real cost to it. Whenever you make a slight mechanical misplay, that makes up for that 5k gold lead you had.
You also have the win con, which is Vayne, 40 minutes. Woohoo!
True. Tessa's, keeping up. Even in farm, even in kills, definitely going to scale. And look at that huge wave she's collecting. 80 carries aren't supposed to collect that huge of a wave top lane. But with no pressure top side by Syndicate Strokers and with Corleone protecting from the Scion, Shasta just gets an amazing wave and maybe even the outer tower, which has stood this entire time. And it's nice.
She's gonna get that tower. I don't know if they're gonna want to try to push it. They are. Looks like they're moving in though. They're gonna get caught over vision here.
Yeah, it does. Wait, actually, Tilted Towers is kind of out of position. There's nowhere to W2. Has to ultimate now. The Ezra ult comes out. There's no Nautilus ult yet, so it looks like he'll be fine. But that pathing was a little awkward because Kaisa left, but Tilted Towers still wanted to protect the tower.
She's like, I need the CS too.
Right, but this kind of leads to this awkward position where now you've got Kaisa having to match mid and Braum having to recall. It does mean that Shayesta gets another wave in. Not going to go for anything against Scion. Scion can probably just kill you while you try to push the tower, so... Not going to be incredibly impactful, but it is nice. Like, the XP that Shayesta has been able to get, while Kaisa has had to sit with 1 or 2 other people in mid lane, is very impactful. Already a level gap between Sayesha and Luxodon. and it might go up over time. I mean, look at the Giants still top lane. No objectives are up, so I guess it makes sense. But this is not where AD carries usually are. This is like the top lane Vayne play style. It works out though.
Yeah, we're going back to top Vayne. This is what I was suggesting from the get-go. To get this Vayne ass, put some pressure on that Vayne. Don't let her just free farm like that. Do you see McFlurry is already kind of trying to clear up these wards, being that solid teammate, and he's probably pretty happy to see the Scion instead of the Cannon.
Oh, absolutely. But I am curious where Omega Titan wants to take this Soul fight. Again, they could just go for the 5v5 and try to get Soul, or they could use it, leverage pressure elsewhere. Cannon's kind of top alone while this ARAM is going on in mid. But then again, because the top towers are down already, because Kennen was putting so much pressure. Oh, Tana tower's actually pretty big, but the tower's too low. Doesn't really matter. And even while matching the weaker solo laner, you're still down 2 levels as McFlurry versus Shen, and loses the tower for it.
Poor McFlurry. He's still been able to keep his CS as much as he can, but he has been kind of punished here and pushed in the entire time.
Unfortunate, but it will all be okay if they can leverage it for this soul. You will take any kind of lane deficit whenever their jungler's been focusing you top and your jungler's just been getting those dragons. So, however, it looks like Syndicate Strokers is using their wallets, their gold advantage, to make sure they own this side of the jungle. Mid lane is the only path forward for OMT to really play through this dragon, so I'm curious to see how they can get this wave crash. But it's Vayne. Like, Vayne's not killing that wave anytime soon. It is a minute before dragon spawn, so they'll be okay, but the tower deficit in mid lane, the wave clear differences, and the fact that Kennen is just a huge problem in the top lane makes this dragon really hard to get for OMT, even if it would win the game on the spot.
I do like here the Kennen's kind of gone back. I thought he was going to recall. I think he waited to see what was going on with the Ezreal, and now he's staying back to farm more. You have to think if he sees that Ezreal push up further, that he'll push the Ezreal and try to take and kill off Dark Magician Girl. But it does look like they're starting to get posturing for this very important dragon.
Yeah, and it's just so hard for OMT to get any kind of wave control. They've got strong individual laners right now. This Ezreal's pretty strong, Vayne's very strong, but they just don't kill the wave that quickly, and it means the position for the dragon is all Syndicate Strokers. Now, Syndicate Strokers did allow the face tracks to come through, but here comes the Kennen TP behind. And look at how far apart OMT is. They kind of have to consolidate somewhere here, but it's really hard with the Kennen flanking. Scion looking for someone, finds no one? I don't even think that finds Vayne. Hep and Young Goblin just 1v1ing in the jungle. This fight is so weird. Here comes Kennen finally. Hep does go down to that 1v1, but Kennen's too low. Has to go down, already used the ultimate somehow without getting anything. Zanya's at 1 health. Shayesta is just completely under no pressure. Finally, the Kai'Sa comes in, gets exhausted, does get the kill. Will die to Don Claron, however. And Young Goblin's coming back from the 1v1. Snalis does have to flash out, but the teleport's coming in from the Ezra, who was able to find a recall. He's in. I don't think Marquise is finding anything here. He just doesn't have to go damage, but he's not exactly going to die anytime soon either. Finally, Ezra comes in. Yeah, Dark Magician Girl will pick it up eventually. I don't know that they have won this fight enough to secure the dragon, though. Silent Hearts doesn't have teleport, but he certainly does damage still without it.
Yeah, they've got it. Young was already pushing over there to try to get to go in. Yeah, I don't think they saw the silver sneak in though.
Oh, but if they catch up to the towers, maybe. Kennen doesn't have ultimate here, but that stun will still kill. Shen ult does come out. Silent has to get away. Oh, ultimate coming out while stunned means that they get both because Dark Magician Go buffers the ultimate while the stun. She knew that she was going to get stunned there. Now Hep is trying to 1v3, but there's just no chance. And that will be Soul. A hero attempt by Hep, but unfortunately it just means they get the gold and the Soul.
Dark Magician Girl saying, hold my beer, and eating forward, just collecting the kills and saying, I got this. Giving
E forward R button is not
heart attack.
E button forward R button is not a normal play pattern for Ezreal, but she does it just right so that way whenever Kennen's gonna Q, because Kennen sees, oh, there's an Ezreal on my face that just E forward, I need to stun. Ezreal's still putting out damage, and they get both kills because of it.
So the gold lead is kind of evaporated. It was 5K, now it's down to 2K. A lot of that gold on the cannon side, but unfortunately, Cannon wasn't able to get a good push into that fight.
Yeah, I didn't see the ultimate because of the jungle 1v1, but it just didn't seem like it did enough. It did mean Shayesta eventually went down to Luxodon, but Luxodon had to commit everything and died immediately afterwards to Don Claron. I can't spin messing that up. Meanwhile, the face check here, Silent again Zanyasing on 1 health. It's not going to be enough. Here comes Udyr, but I don't think Hep knows what he's jumping into. This is not going to work out. Stunned, rooted, killed.
That's a Baron if they want it. They want to try to force it.
Yeah, there's no wrong path here for OMT. They could push towers, they could do Baron, they could just press dance button. I don't think that it's very easy to lose from a 26-minute Vayne with Chemtech Soul. Now, they are trying with the bot lane of Syndicate Strokers to stop this. Gragas is rather low, so maybe there's a chance. Shin ult is not up. They do get it, of course, because they have to smite. And now Kaisa Braum trying anything. Shin cannot ult because he is bot up. I think maybe if he gets out there, Shin ult should be up barely before the fight's over. He might just die. The shield is up just in time. Marquise, he's gonna get taunted soon. I can't tell. It looks like Marquise barely wins the 1v1, but his team still lost Baron and weren't able to stop and get any other bodies on the other side.
Yeah, but the Shin stopped the Marquise teleport, was able to get a taunt in at the last second that stopped it.
Oh my god, he's dead too.
He'll take that trade.
Absolutely. And now Kaisa might be dead. Does get Gon Goblin low. That's really nice for them. But there's no way Shayesta cannot chase this down. Tilted Towers, you are running to your death if you go into it. They actually get the ultimate from Kaisa and the shield. I was just completely wrong. Tilted Towers saves his AD carry and the Barons are gone. Now, you still have to do... Oh. Okay, well, Dark Magician Girl gets a nice little snipe there. But that's multiple Barons gone by a few baits. You still have to deal with the late game Vayne, with the Chemtech Soul. But, I mean, the momentum is kind of shifting in your favor. Here comes Tilted Towers getting hooked by Nautilus. And I don't think there's a way for him to get out. Will W to Hep, it looks like. No, just gets hooked first. And now Hep, that camp is not worth your life, man. You better find a way to get out of here. I don't know if they're going to chase him because it's Udyr with Chemtech Blast Plant. It looks like it's going to end here once he hits the Blast Plant. But, kind of humorous.
Unfortunately, the gold lead is kind of evaporated. The soul is now there, and even with Shice doing some crazy insanity trying to chase into 3 to secure that kill on the Kaisa, you still now have a Vayne going into 30 minutes with soul.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I mean, they've made really good plays the last 5 minutes. The problem is the first 23 minutes. You know, you can't give up soul and then turn it on. Maybe you could if you had the Vayne, or if you had some kind of ridiculous late game insurance. I just don't think it's there for Syndicate Strokers, but they certainly are trying.
Meanwhile, this Dark Magician Girl is content to just, okay, I'm just going to keep pushing in until somebody throws me in the air and kills me, and just continues to collect kills. Got 10 kills already, to only 2 deaths. Not done too shabby for swamping a mid here.
Yeah. She just said, I don't want to support anymore. I'm going to carry these games my damn self. Picked an Ezreal. Didn't even care about the counterpick Scion and completely crushed it. Now, I think there's at least nothing coming up for a little bit now, but this Elder Dragon, I mean, you've got to make some kind of pick, some kind of play for Syndicate Strokers for this Elder Dragon, because you could give up everything else. You could maybe beat a Chemtech Soul. I'm not sure how they survive an Elder Dragon push.
And they need to get back to what was working before. They need the Kennen on the split push. They know that the Shin can handle. The Shin actually technically can't even handle the Scion at this point, but at least the Scion takes a little bit more work to kill off the Shin. So they
might be caught out here. Young Goblin looking for something, but the ult is blocked by Tilted Towers. That's one big tool used. So they have some kind of advantage. I'm just not sure if it's enough to overcome everything else on the side of Omega Titan.
You take it. OMT really didn't get anything done with the Baron. You've now got your split pusher back in there. You've already wasted a tool. You know you've got a good 50 seconds here. Try to get a pick. Get some deep wards in here. You know you have to get this dragon. You cannot let them have it.
Almost. Close looking.
Close.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be just a straight 5v5 setup. Kennen is even here, not opting to be top lane to teleport in. But OMT is just looking to go with mid wave, and I don't know anyone can stop them. Like you can't really trade Elder Dragon for your entire base. At the same time, now you've got this weird sign. Like, look at Kennen. The flank is really good if it can go off, but where are you? The fight is gonna happen, but Nautilus misses everything. If Nautilus misses everything, maybe it's okay. Sion is behind. Kennen finally coming in. Look at this ultimate. Gets the flash out of Ezreal, but does stun everyone up. However, your 80 carry's already dead. It doesn't matter if Zanya's at full health. Shayesta is at full health as well. You will die once you come out. And now the Elder Dragon is the target. The base could be the target. No matter what OMT do, I can't see this without ending with the Nexus explosion of Syndicate Strokers.
Oh, Silent Heart, you went so far around. By the time you got to the fight, it was already half over. Hate to see it. You wanted to see that combo pay off, but unfortunately did not. Now, can they get back up in time and defend this?
I mean, perhaps, but they still have to fight against an Elder full health Chemtech Soul Vayne. It's very hard for them to deal with this without getting hooked by Nautilus, without losing multiple of their structures. Now, Dark Magician Girl does not have teleport, so it is just these 4 members. I think they're just going to accept the inhibitor going down. But this Baron is going to spawn with the Elder Dragon on all 5 members of OMT.
We're going to get a reset, and we're going to get a crazy Baron fight. Need that Kennen in there slightly earlier. See if they can have a more impact here and get the Ezreal and the Shaisa off the table ASAP.
Regardless, it does look like both teams want to fight this Baron. If they get a pick here, it's really big. McFlurry does the E over the wall is stunned. Will absolutely have to flash over, but not getting the kill is critical. You're fighting into 5 Elder Dragons. You can't get a pick where you just get Shen Flash and be okay with it. It's so hard for them to not lose this Baron. If they lose the Baron with Inhib already down mid lane, I don't know how they find the angle.
Right now, looks like they're in the driver's seat. Don Corleone looked like he was trying to hook the Scion and say hi. I'm not certain he realized he didn't really want to do that.
Well, sometimes you just gotta go for the hook if you see it, you know? You don't think about, is this a good hook? You just think, man, that hook would be sick if I land it. Regardless.
Sure, you want the,
right?
the Scion in your face, but...
Okay, Elder Dragon has about a minute left, if I understand buff timers correctly. So it's possible the Baron will live.
I think they have the damage if they want to push this now and burn it. I think they just
Well, the problem is, Luxon getting this blue buff means there's just no Kai'Sa here. Now, Kai'Sa can ult in, but if Kai'Sa's ulting in this late, it's so hard for them to win. Sion is teleporting, Kennen is teleporting. Watch the Kennen ult. Will it be enough? They're definitely going to give the Baron over. The team, Omega Titans gets it. Now, can Kennen get the ult of his life? That is a lot of people knocked up, a lot of people stunned, but the Chemtech Soul is doing so much work. No one is dying, except for on the side of Syndicate Strokers. Shaista, half health, that's exactly where she wants to be with Chemtech Soul. We'll deal with this body just fine. And it is 2 dead for both sides. Wait, actually, Dark Magician Girl shouldn't have a problem because that is just a Braum hitting her. But now it is 3 versus 3 with Baron.
Ice still up. You still got some damage. Can you get anything off of this?
Well, it looks like Omega Titan's doing their, you know, like, okay, well, let's do it the tried and true way, right? We tried just going down mid and rushing it. Let's get the side towers that are still up, get the crash off over here. Baron recall, try to group up with 3, make Shin side lane something that might work a little bit better than just brute forcing it. But, I mean, again, the world is their oyster. It would be really hard to see Syndicate Strokers finding some hole in whatever path they choose forward to try to break up the Nexus.
If you're gonna find a hole, it starts with Vayne should not be top by herself. If you can get that
a little bit,
and kill
definitely
Shy
something
right now, that would be useful.
I don't know that Kennen's gonna be able to do it alone. However, yes, Shasta does have some, but yeah. So every cooldown. Every cooldown should be up for this next fight. Chenault is up very soon. Silent Hearts finds a Colorion. Or does the Colorion find the Silver Hearts? Silent Hearts has to run away, gets exhausted, gets bursted up. Now, it shouldn't be a problem as long as he doesn't die. Hep, however, might be in a different situation. Actually, Tilted Towers. They keep on chasing in one after another, but it kind of works out because none of them get caught except for Tilted Towers. Now hooked, stunned. Isn't able to flash out, but dies to the young goblin burst damage. Shen is teleporting down to protect the inhibitor, but the team is trying to win the game, so I'm not sure if that was the right play. It looks like they'll be able to win the 4v3 on the top side, so it's not a big deal. Again, Shen does have ultimate, and they're claiming another inhibitor. I think it will work out because this Nexus Siege is just so hard to deal with. If Marquise can keep McFlurry busy, it's still a 4v3 with Baron up here at the Nexus Towers, and there's just not enough wave clear on the other side. It just goes down immediately to Young Goblin's full AP build. Silent Hearts gets a really good Zanya's ult, but it doesn't matter against Shen ult and Chemtech's ult. He will also go down. The kills will just be absolutely free for Omega Titan. They even pick up the AD carry, and they will start the series 1-0.
35-minute Vayne.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly the path I was expecting to get there, but yeah, 35-minute Vayne, I guess. I mean,
nice recovery. You're down by 5k gold. You still got your dragons. You're still getting the objectives. You're still down all that gold, and just slowly climbing back up. You gotta appreciate it.
Dragon is a real win condition whenever you get the first two, and honestly, that third dragon, they should be very happy with how they played it, because the first two dragons were like a decisive choice, you know. Omega Titan, we're gonna take dragon, and Syndicate Stroker said, okay, you have that, we're gonna scale. The third dragon was both teams fighting for it, and they just barely catch out and win that fight. Even the fourth fight, arguably.
I do like what I saw from Dark Magician Girl, specifically on the Ezreal, able to punish time and time again early on against the Sahan. Got the solo kill. Wasn't expecting that at that point in time, but you gotta appreciate the things you have. And yeah, that wonderful guy who got all those points that banked on OMT coming back and winning that game. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, what a cool guy. I guess you should listen to his opinions more often, huh?
Unlike
regardless,
guy, you know.
I think that this really says to Syndicate Strokers is that they cannot they cannot give up the first few dragons and just hope to outscale by the third dragon time, because they couldn't even secure one dragon, let alone the next four, right? Whenever you give up the first few dragons, you're basically saying we're going to win the next 4 dragon fights, or we're going to end the game before it matters. And they didn't get a single dragon. They won like maybe one fight afterwards, but it was really shaky. I mean, either way, we are now going to see Syndicate Strokers on blue side, which is definitely a mix-up. And it's nice because you take away the ability of Omega to pick Ezreal first, because that Ezreal first pick did very well for them in the draft. I mean, arguably they didn't get the flex into counterpick, because I don't think they would have really wanted Vayne into Kaisa in an ideal world, but it worked out, you know?
It did work out. I will say, you know, you got double kill off the get-go, jungle. You take that. You bank it. You get an item. You push the other jungle. I think that cost them a little bit of tempo early on, as Hep didn't go back to start, did not get any additional items. And you saw it. He didn't have a leash. He was low health to start. Very, very low health off the first clear. And the red kind of slowed him down a little bit. And it allowed Young to get a lot more when they got 4 deaths on their team and not able to capitalize under pressure. Else, I think we're singing a different tune in this game. Just some small kind of adjustments there. So I think they're going to take away. They're going to look a little bit more at the Dark Magician Girls pool and be like, all right, let's take some toys away and see how they do on something less comfortable. Because they should have had a stronger game there than what the numbers indicated.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't really easily counterpick the Ezreal mid whenever you think it's AD carry for most of the draft. But it did feel like they should have been able to punish her a little bit more. And she just absolutely kept on taking all the golden resources she wanted and making it so that way you can't just focus on Shayesta. you have to deal with 2 carries.
I wanted to see the damage numbers. I didn't get a chance. Did you get a chance to look at the final damage numbers there?
I probably have to look at that in the stats. I think that those are also made available to everyone publicly in the LXC Discord. Could be wrong, but unfortunately not available to us now because we are in draft.
That we are. We're gonna have to see here real quick what they're gonna do. I want to see. Still Ben in the way.
Respectable. Now, I'm kind of curious what Syndicate Strokers is willing to blind pick. I mean, they could take the Ezreal themselves, no big deal. Banning Vayne makes sense. It feels like if Shayesta is in a counter matchup, does not get that much jungle pressure, and still outperforms like that you want to ban the champion. It could be hard to see how are the names correct? Sorry, I'm just kidding. Did Syndicate Strokers took blue side, correct?
Syndicate Strokers did take blue side.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Oh, I see what. Never mind. Sorry. Ignore me. I get it now. Anyways, regardless.
OMT fires back, takes out the Aphelios, and now we're seeing the Gragas being banned out. Young on that Gragas was putting in some work.
Now, picking Leona for Syndicate Strokers is very interesting. It's not your typical blind pick, but it does leave open the Ezreal, who is just happy to take it. Again, as a flex, potentially could go mid. Now, Syndicate Strokers probably has a better answer now that they know it could be mid, but that doesn't preclude Omega just giving it to their Shayesta and letting Dark Magician Girl play a different mid laner.
And now we see the Braum coming back. All right.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, it was the Braum on the other side, but it's pretty good into Leona. And it's nice with Ezreal, regardless of if it's in lane or just in a later in the game kind of pick.
You have to respect it here. Do you take your mid, not knowing, or are you going to... Okay, all right, so they do have to take the Kaisa. Which technically you could flex mid as well.
I guess technically you could see Ezreal versus Kaisa mid be very interesting, but I don't think they're interested in that unless the Ziggs is going bot lane. Picking Kaisa Ziggs is actually interesting.
I can see that. All right, so what are we going to get now? Ooh, are we going to get the brand?
No, just a classic Amumu. Amumu's pretty good into what Syndicate Stroker is showing, plus it's just classic, tried and true. Not broken, always going to do the same thing every time. And probably a little bit more stable than the Gragas, arguably. Although the Gragas did a lot of nice picks. With it banned, Amumu does a very similar role.
Mumu also gives them a little bit more kind of go buttons there. They have the Braum ult, they have the Mumu engaged. They gives them more options, gives them some go strategy. Banning the Udyr. All right, we're gonna make put Hep on something maybe a little bit different.
Oh, Syndicate Strokers might not believe that that's an Ezreal mid. Decides to go with the top lane Jax ban. So they're still aware that at any moment, Omega could just decide to put that Ezreal mid. And it's kind of hard because I think Omega is just going to pick their top laner and leave that open up in the air.
And the Shyvana. All right. Oh, where's Sedge?
Similar enough champion. Sejuani obviously much better early game. And you don't have the Vayne this time, so I could see Omega wanting to deal with the chance of scaling. At the same time, getting rid of Sejuani means you have more of a chance at just stacking dragons and feeling pretty happy about it. You get Soul again. It doesn't matter if you have Vayne or if you have Ezreal. Soul is pretty good scaling potential.
So Syndicate still has the option. They could take the Trundle, which plays well into the Mumu, if they so choose. Or even the Kindred if they know how to play it correctly. But OMT content to throw out more beef. As here comes a Mundo.
And it's still unclear from the draft what is going mid for Omega. Now, obviously, Syndicate Strokers have picked their mid laner. They haven't decided which one goes where, I guess, technically. That is a lot of magic damage that I'm seeing. That's just what jumps out to me. Gwen picked. I like it into the Mundo, don't get me wrong. But wow, you are indexing into a crazy amount of magic damage with this draft.
And a Zac to go on top of it. That can't be. Oh, okay. All right. So we opt into.
I mean, unless you're picking Kindred, you're not getting a lot of physical damage from your jungler anyways. And Zac, again, yeah. You're hoping to, I guess, scale into late game where it doesn't matter if they build MR because you still got Kai'Sa, Ziggs, Gwen. Or in the game early with your Zac pressure, Lucian would be quite the interesting pick. Has gotten a little bit more popular again lately. But definitely would not be trying to deal with, or, you know, you're not exactly answering the magic damage with just something that scales well and trying to get the late game. Keelan, pretty classic.
All right. I was thinking maybe they might put the Lucian in there and then flex the Lucian mid to bully the Ziggs more, but it looks like they opted to do the Caitlyn.
So once again, we do see an 80 carry mid for Dark Magician Girl. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think the Ziggs or Kai'Sa matchup will be just a little bit tougher. Yes, the Scion will mean that Dark Magician Girl couldn't get crazy solo kills, although she still kind of did. But something like Ziggs or Kai'Sa will actually put her under pressure and try to match the fact that she doesn't have wave clear with tower pressure, which again, Scion got 4 of the first 5 plates before plates were down into that Scion versus Ezreal matchup where he got solo killed multiple times. With Ziggs or Kai'Sa, the tower could fall completely.
You also like to see this Zac is able to come from a little bit different angles on the gank. So, Dark Magician Girl might not be kind of used to that in the mid. So the Zac can present some opportunities there to catch the Ezreal out. Because Zac can come from some different places, come from the wolves, come from backside of the wolves, come from over the side of the wall. So we'll have to kind of see if they're prepared to handle that. Plus, with the added power that OMT has, you just want that Mundo to get to 35 minutes and take control of the game. But now they got a Gwen on the other side, and that Gwen against this team comp, if this Gwen gets in a late game, she might be problematic as well.
Yeah, either way, the teams are taking a little bit long, just having a bit of a break. I think we're going to go to a break a bit early. It will be a slightly extended break because teams have not yet started Champion Select. So give us a few more minutes than usual, get your predictions in, and then we will start Game 2.
God, you are the devil. Yeah, I'm nervous on the surface, I look fine. My brain feels heavy, my traumatized mind. And I'm so tired, I can't feel my eyes. Whoa, whoa. I'm petty, but I know how to lie. I feel feelings that I can't describe. I'm not breathing, but I'm still alive. Whoa, whoa. But I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. So I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. Why do I still have hope? So many days have passed. I wait around for things to change, but change has not come fast. I'm asking all the questions, but then I question them. Like, what's the point of living, existing when you can't see your God in flesh? I'm looking for the answers, they say to pray instead. I think I'll find them one day, but with a helping hand. I know that it's not easy, but I believe I will. Yeah, I'll get over all my fears and really conquer everything. I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. So I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever felt this? It's a feeling so unheard. When every time I hear your voice, like my feelings having no choice. And every time I hear your voice, I wish I could remember. When every time I Welcome back to the Rift for Game 2 of Syndicate Strokers versus OMT. Just to clarify, it was the Ziggs mid and Kaisa bot lane like we all knew it would be, and Ezreal mid for Dark Magician Girl and Caitlyn bot lane for Shyesta. Caitlyn's a very different champion than Vayne, so definitely have to look out for if they cannot leverage the... Caitlyn will do one thing good, which is get them early dragons, right? Which is something that they very much appreciated in game 1. But they don't exactly have that late game assurance of having a Vayne.
No late game assurance with the Vayne, but they do have a Mundo.
True. Mundo is the new Kassadin, as I've heard some people say. You get the level 3 ultimate, the game's over. However, if there's one champion that maybe he would struggle even in late game, and it's against Gwen, right? That percent health true damage. Well, what a great phrase.
Excellent phrasing. Love it.
Excellent phrase.
Love to see it. I do like the Mumu starting here with the E, able to get the wolves down really quick, go right in to red, and then choice to wrap around and check. But I think he already knows Zaka's going to start blue, so we'll probably see him do a full clear on that side. Might try some shenanigans in mid, but we'll have to see if Young wants to push that.
Well, it does look like Dark Magician Girl is getting a bit of access into the push wave. Actually just trading like crazy. Marquise, you don't have cooldowns if your Q's down. Don't have damage either. That Q could kill, but it just barely misses. Dark Magician Girl is not letting up the aggression today.
He is just playing easy and just pushing to the tower.
It's a
we'll
E
have
and Q, but the Q hits a minion, so we're okay. But wow. Meanwhile, bot
Whoops.
lane looking exactly how it's supposed to, and if you got Caitlyn Braum versus a Kaisa, just
Yeah, you're just gonna push to the
full
tower.
control.
Give it away. Don't get crazy here. See, now Easy is so far up. This is what I was talking about. Does the Zac want to come in and see if Dark Magician Girl is able to cover some of these angles and expect it? That's kind of what I want to see from the Zac, knowing that the ADC has been switched over.
Especially
into
whenever she
mid.
just ease in like that. W's in the tower, flashes in, gets first blood. Now the wave is in a really awkward spot, but man, that is some crazy aggression from Dark Magician Girl.
You don't usually encourage Ezreals to be eating forward into towers and eating tower shots, but why not?
I mean, I guess she thought she could flash the Ziggs W, doesn't quite do it, so she takes the tower shot. Eats it again, by the way, just so you know, but dodges the W this time, and there's no flash on either champion. Oh, no, Marquise has flash this time. Doesn't need to use it to dodge the Q, but the aggression is continuing, and Hep is on the other side of the map.
See, this is where I'd be calling the jungle. Magician Girl's way pushed up. You know the flash is gone. You know they're exposed in the middle. And Zac is instead opting.
He's into the W again, takes a tower shot. Now the Q misses, so now Ziggs gets a lot of damage back. Should just be a solo kill for Marquise. Don't even need Hep.
Get that punishment in. Take that extra shot. Now seeing rotation here. We're seeing.
Oh, Hep has to flash.
Away.
So it's okay. But Dark Magician Girl is not playing around these Ziggs W's very well. She even had flash for the first one. Still takes a tower shot, and this time she E's in again. Doesn't dodge it, which, I mean, I don't think you should be expected to dodge it without E. Zac E coming in, by the way. Is not going to do that much. Hep just walking away, getting some pressure down, which is nice. Because Kaisa would like to have some farm in this lane. But it is a lot of tempo for just the farm for Luxodon.
She is able to keep up with the Kate here, so thankfully she was able to get most of the 2 ways that they try to crash into the tower. The bigger concern is, can Ezreal keep up with Ziggs?
This is level 4 advantage. Only gets the E on the Braum, so it should be okay. But Tilted Towers was definitely looking for more there.
Too easy is Braum to get away there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Tilted Towers really wanted the E on the Caitlyn. This time it's obviously for the Braum. Exhaust comes down on Luxodon, but that's a huge wave coming in, so that way the engage should fall off here. But I think they might get a freeze here, which is very powerful as Caitlyn. Now, yeah, there's no tower dive pressure. This crash is really hard for Kaisa because those casters will live for a long time. Looks like it might not be the worst. But it's definitely very tough to see how Luxodon gets into this lane with the new state and gets out of it without losing too much. Luckily, is able to get the crash off, so it's okay for now. Okay, this time dodging things with E for Dark Magician Girl. That's a nice one. I think that one should be kept in the arsenal. But Ziggs is level 6 first.
Ziggs is level 6. Zac can move into position here and punish this Magician Girl. And I'll have to kind of see if they're going to hold him at wolves and come around, try to get the easy to push forward and see if we can get a quick gank off. That's what you want to see. You can
Ease
see
forward. There's a
hanging
Zac
there,
right in that Raptor pit that is unaware
but
for
Zac
Dark Magician Girl. Huge wave.
does not do it. Marquise played that correctly. Put it easy over on that side, but Zac just spawned the wolves. Didn't go for it.
Now Leona is here as well, so I think Dark Magician Girl is wise to not go in. Does get the ultimate to cancel Marquise's back though. That is something. Oh, Amumu is spawning out Hep and the support doing dragon, so everyone is aware of what's going on right now. Actually, I'm not sure if Hep is aware that he's spotted right now. Ezreal is coming. Marquise has no teleport. Goes in immediately under the dragon. No Amumu ult, but Hep is in a lot of trouble. Has passive. I don't think it'll matter because Tilted Towers cannot protect that. Luxodon's coming here. Young Goblin's just gonna die though. I think, yep, Hep also goes down. Dark Magician Girl getting stunned. Ziggs is just too far away though. Braum is finally here. Caitlyn is looking on the outside, not level 6 yet. Dark Magician Girl should get a kill before she dies. Does die to the Q, however. It's a lot of gold to Ezreal. Flash out from Luxon and Ziggs is finally coming. Are they really going to do the dragon? I think they're just backing off. I can't tell from the minimap because the camera's decided we should be top lane today. But I think, I don't know. They're staying in River for a long time. Please tell me if they're doing dragon. It looks like they're still doing it. I don't think Hep is aware because Hep's not looking. And they do get the dragon with Hep a mere camp away.
I don't understand why the Ziggs didn't check that and allow that dragon to be continued. You have to imagine if Marquise gets in there and just packages a Qs, like he could either steal that or outright kill the Caitlyn.
The level 5 Hep looking at Grubs while level 6 of Mumu is here. Mumu comes out just for the CC, but Hep does get it with the steal, luckily, but how does he get out? He has no passive. He's just going for blobs. They're healing, but it's just not enough. Gwendolyn, the lights of Gwen is here, but Dark Magician Girl is here as well. Marquise has no way out. Does dodge the ultimate, so I think he'll be okay. The flash forward, the extra flash forward. Just 2 flashes for 1 flash. I'm not sure if Corleone had to flash there, but it looked extra spicy, you know?
Looked good, not necessarily needed there. You want to see something on this bottom side. They know Braum is there. They need to push this Kate. They
the
cannot
flash
let
in!
her-
Caitlyn
There
is
we
absolutely
go.
dead. No cleanse, no heal. Does flash out. There's no chance she's living, though. And Tilted Towers will get the kill, luckily, for Shayesta. So the flash isn't completely wasted. But it is a bit unfortunate for her.
That is the correct return on that one. You know you're giving that up. Tilted knows that they've got to try to put something. Unfortunately, Kill did not go to where you wanted it to.
Regardless, Luxon gets a really nice freeze. This is denying a lot of farm, which is not something Caitlyn wants to see. She wants to have the farm lead, not the deficit. They're not going to deny the cannon, it looks like, but they get a nice little reset for themselves. And just an assist is more than enough for Luxon, who's already got 2 kills.
She's got the 2 kills. She's already got a nice little kind of advantage over this Kate. But it's still a Kate. She still hurts.
For sure. Dark Magician Girl, I bet she Eden before we got to see this. There's no damage coming out from Marquise yet, though. Finally, the Q comes in. The Q from Ezreal just hurts too much. And that'll be a solo kill for Dark Magician Girl after everything that's happened in that lane.
Crazy. Again, Zach, the pressure from Zach isn't there. You would think give up some farm, try to get some kills on some of these teams, but opting instead to just kind of go back on the farm after, I would say, pushing the objectives a little soon there. But you know, trying to get a dragon, trying to get void grubs, getting caught out, unfortunately, in these plays is kind of how it be sometimes. It's jungle life.
And it's unclear if the 2v2 matchup would change it, but from the 1v1 matchup, this Dark Magician Girl to mid lane change has been phenomenal for OMT. I have no idea how their mid lane looked before, but it's looking great right now. Okay, Zach is here. Hep is finally putting pressure, but the pressure is going mid lane. The ultimate damage is coming in. Corleone should die. Marquise dies in the solo kill. Braum doesn't even die here. Young Golvin looking for more, trying to get out now. Shayesta dodging the ult very cleanly, and Caitlyn still has ult to channel. Oh, but this is a little early. Luxon blocks it. Is able to eat out, but the headshot will be just too much, and channeling the ultimate does totally fine if you can get the enemy AD carry to walk right into it. And now Tilted Towers has nowhere to go. Oh, but the stun under tower? I don't think she took a second tower shot, but Shayesta's health bar looked a little bit like it was close to dying.
You like to see Dark Magician Girl not only get the solo kill, but come bottom, hold so Shy could get that kill off and put that kill on the Shy. When Magician Girl could have taken that kill if she really wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. But spreading out the gold is a very nice thing to do, especially whenever Kaisa is the only one with a bit of gold for the enemy team. I mean, Ziggs has some as well. But just ensuring that both lanes are doing pretty well. Corleone looking to match mid by himself. Not entirely sure if this works out, but he's definitely going for the greedy freeze. Tilted Tower says no. Those minions will go into the tower. You cannot do that. But Dark Magician Girl is finally here. Oh, denies one minion. Report that support. I'm just kidding. Very good play by Corleone. Very greedy. Works out. Saves some farm and XP for Dark Magician Girl. Now, in the middle of nowhere, has passive, I believe. So he should be fine, but not able to get much off that invade. this does leave Shiavasta alone. Does the ultimate, not able to eat into anywhere though. Should die. Luxodon is not taking tower. Tilted towers, be careful. Luxodon wouldn't take a tower shot there, but it's okay. Both live. Get a nice shutdown kill on Shiesta because Braum was moving. Now this does mean that they will get the grubs because Coleon moved up, but that's another kill to the Kaisa.
What they should do is move the Hep immediately with the Ziggs. Take this dragon away. Do not. Yeah, there we go. That's what you want to see. They know that he's already been caught out there. They know the Braum is there. They know the Ezreal just got back to lane. You need to immediately push this dragon. Take it away from him. Don't let him have it.
Top lane looking like top lane things. Mundo almost has level 2 ultimate, and once that happens, it's a lot harder for these fights to go anywhere. But Silent Hearts is still trying to force it now.
Oh,
wait,
no!
I think Hep just got it stolen with just a Mumu Caitlyn there. I wish we had seen a bit more of that, but unfortunately all we see is that young Goblin walks in and says, "That's my dragon."
Hep
Thank
did
you
the
very
right
much.
Play, got in there, did what he was supposed to do, and Mumu gets a Q in there and takes the dragon. That's
doesn't even die for it,
not what you wanna
unfortunately.
see.
Okay, Hep looking to put some pressure bot lane. Shiesta has died quite a bit now. Gets stunned again. No, cleanse again, has heal. And now we'll go down. They give it to Hep this time. Coleon should be able to give whoever they want to. Flash out. Luxodon gets it.
Hep came in. It looked like he was waiting on the Leona. There might have been a miscommunication there because he canceled and then readjusted. Unfortunately, that meant he got the kill instead of Luxodon. But Luxodon at least able to get the one kill. But Magician
Okay, they've done this guy before, but usually on a much lower level Caitlyn. Ezreal's a bit different story. Luxodon's taking a lot of damage here. The flash out. Tilted towers will go down for it, but that's a shutdown for the Kaisa. Luxodon's going to be a big player in this with how much gold he's been gifted. Oh, Hep. Unfortunately, on the wrong side of that dive, is able to E, has passive as well. I don't think Braum could finish off the passive if it even goes down. So I don't think Dawn's going to chase that much further. Looks like they want Caitlyn channel to happen. The passive will go down. There's no one here to protect because Leona finished the recall. But the teleport means, I mean, there's a trap as well, right? And Zach is going to be so low. Gwen doesn't even get trapped because of the Gwen is immune moment. Shiesta has to flash, is still taking a ton of damage. Exhaust is good. Hep doesn't jump in, still a little scared because no passive. So it will just be a teleport to save Hep's life.
I mean, Shen-like play, right? I mean, you know, you pulled a Shen, got in there, saved Hep.
I wonder if Shiesta had put a trap where Zach was respawning instead of on Gwen, if the headshot would have been enough to kill. But Dark Magician Girl just getting another solo kill. I'm not entirely sure what set that up. I think Marquise got really greedy for Wing the tower and will die for it.
He used the package and didn't have the package to get himself some distance, and Magician Girl was able to stay on top of it. We kind of talked about this before we were, for everyone, we were talking about this during our break, is how that interaction was going to go if Marquise knew how to play into the Ezreal and save the package to get some distance and avoid the combo, but doesn't seem to be working out.
Okay. Young Goblin has invested himself into this top bush. The fight looks real, but Dark Magician Girl is the one under pressure right now. Tower goes down top lane, but Dark Magician Girl absolutely will go down. They get it to Zach. Not the best, but this Silent Hearts Gwen is dead. It looks like they might be setting up for the 3v2 afterwards. Ziggs is coming with ultimate, and Young Goblin's just too low. Ziggs ult will get it, gets the shutdown, which is really good. And I don't think McFlurry will go for anything more. But I don't think he's in trouble either. Here comes the jump. Ignite comes out pretty early. That the Mundo ult is still available. Not even popped yet. I believe it's off cooldown. Now, Luxodon is here though, so it doesn't matter much. Not going to use that cooldown.
Luxodon is here, and now your whole team is here. You go over there, grab the big boy, and take a tower with it.
Absolutely. It's still pretty even tower-wise, though. Just that top tower going down for mid tower as well. Top is going to fall here, you have to imagine. Bot fell a little bit. Mid just falls. And basically all the outers are gone except for bot lane.
You'd like to see the adjustment here. They rotated as a group much quicker this time to respond to some of these fights. They did lose the Gwen early, but able to capitalize on it. Get a little bit back in return. I don't like this though. They left Hep alone to take this objective, and Leona could have stayed.
But no one's coming. I mean, Amumu versus Hep is one thing, but there is a Ziggs in the wings. Marquise gonna bully him a little bit. It's hard to kill this Amumu with just this damage. They do get the steal. I don't think it's worth it for Goblin though. You get the steal, you're absolutely gonna die. What? He just kills Hep too? I guess it is worth it. I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, I was afraid that was gonna happen when I saw the Kaisa go off. I saw Tilted go off and stay in the middle. You need to help the Hep there to secure the objectives. You can't leave him a level down.
Wait, Tilted Tower's in a lot of trouble here. This E forward is a thing Dark Magician Girl's known to do. Uses the locket, so it's okay for now. But Braum hold is pretty good. Dark Magician Girl has no E. The Braum will go down. Caitlyn is here, however. Luxon trying to fight. Will get that kill. Ziggs ult also gonna burst down Shayesta. She's gonna go down too. And that is right before Dragon.
Well, Luxon's popping off right now.
They spot him. McFlurry, we know you're there. You're not being cute. Now, can Young Golden get the second steal in a row? I doubt it. Or actually, third steal. He stole the Herald as well.
Stole the Herald. Stole the Dragon.
I don't think he's going to try to 1v4 steal, though. That would be a bit silly. Do they want to fight afterwards, though? They could delay pretty hard with McFlurry, but Caitlyn's just so far away. I think they're content to just let the Herald die mid lane and let that Dragon go. Yeah, Herald goes down, no big deal, no objectives for a while, and for once, that's Syndicate Stroker's first Dragon of the series.
You love to see it.
Arguably, they should have had the last one, just a slight misstep by Hep allowing the steal to happen. But this time they put the resources in, and they get rewarded, arguably, by just getting that catch out mid lane.
Did you see the Gwen taking the Nashers first? Mundo's obviously got his Warmogs because Warmog things. We'll have to kind of see how this farm plays out. If Gwen can get a nice lead and able to push the tempo in the side lane, that'll be hugely beneficial to them because all their gold right now is on Luxon. They have to keep Luxon alive. She's got all the money. She's got all the things. And they need this Gwen to get online so they have more options for damage. Because Marquise's kind of got damage, but...
I don't even know if he can match McFlurry suitably. Luckily the wave clear's there, so he's not going to lose towers or anything. But if the wave clear ever takes a moment off, those towers will fall very quickly. Leona ulting really early. There's no cleanse on Shayesta, but I don't think she minds if she just gets slowed.
I like what they did here. They put the easy back bot and they sent the Mundo back up top, much better into that Gwen setup.
Oh, they might catch Leona here. Gets the W off, so it's okay. If that Leona route landed, she was going on an adventure.
I mean, do you get crazy here and try to push this Baron, or
I think Young Golden's going to pressure your Ziggs. If you see a Mumu down there, it could be possible you start the Baron, especially with the trades going on in top lane. You see a Mumu now. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Marquise just flashes out. They haven't made the call yet. They're going to instead engage on the Mumu. Now they're making the call. Yeah. Mumu is running it towards that Baron. Dark Magician Girl does have teleport, but she can't do it in front of Ziggs, who will cancel it. They are started the Baron. I don't know that OMT is even aware of this. They see Tilted Towers, and that's it. Now, Tilted Towers being that aggressive means they probably are doing it, so Dark Magician Girl will teleport to the mid lane, but the Baron's almost down. It's about 1/4. Hep is looking to secure it. They do get it. Now, will the fight go after in their favor? Hep looking for an E. Doesn't quite get it. The movement ult is just massive. I don't think this Baron matters at all. They're just losing everybody. Kais looks it in, however, pretty strong. Does die anyways to the shutdown. They keep 2 Barons, and they get 2 kills across, but they still lose the fight after the Baron for Syndicate Strokers.
I do like the call, though. The second the Mumu was spotted out, they didn't hesitate at all. They called for the Baron. My team would have murdered me if I'd have pinged it, and they said I was crazy for doing this, but this is something that I like to call out all the time, so I love the fact that I'm seeing it with Soul present, so he can shake his head at me as I say this.
Well, I'm a little concerned, honestly, because Hep did try to commit to the Mundo first. They wanted to make a cross-map play. They saw the Mundo as the only avenue, and then someone's like, wait a second, Baron's here. And had they been just like a little slightly faster, maybe they finish it without even losing any members. But yeah, the cross map play is a tried and true method. Oh, this Raptor's gonna, okay. Tried and true method of getting leads in games. Dragon is spawning in a minute. You still have 2 Barons up for this Dragon. Gonna be pretty hard to contest it for OMT. The gold deficit isn't that much. They've got 2 Dragons already, so the stats are about even. I mean, looking at the items alone, yes, your 80 carry is down an entire item, but everywhere else is pretty even looking. Mundo is almost, you know, to that really, really tanky level. Looks like the ARM will just be mid for now. I don't like having Dark Magician go match mid. Now, Tilted Tower is going in under a tower with no damage quite yet. Young Goldman looking to be the backup. Shayesta still will go down just a Hep. Now, Hep will have to find some way out of this, but Zach has made his way out of crazier situations before. I don't think he will this time. My screen is frozen, but it looks like he will go down. Meanwhile, Tilted Tower is also going to be a casualty to this dive. It looks like, yep, Mark Magician Girl, classic Ian. Luxodon does get the Mundo, does not get Dark Magician Girl. Ziggs will get it instead. And it looks like that play ends up with 3 kills each, but Gwen was in top lane getting towers.
Yeah, that's the big key there. You got the Gwen pushing. She's going to be able to get this inhib. You have to think that Caitlyn cannot stop. She's backing up, though. She's respecting the Caitlyn.
I'm more curious about how this Dragon goes. Mid tower falling is really, really nice for Syndicate Strokers. And Movement has to recall so late. You know, it's interesting. Young Goblin spent the time to try to protect mid tower, lost it anyways, and is now just recalling. Just now to meet up with the enemy team at Dragon around the same time instead of being available early. A movement ult will be just available right around the team's meet. I'm pretty sure it'll be up actually at the exact right time. Ezreal's ulting Dragon, so they have no idea. Now they will learn that the Dragon is completely unbothered, and both teams are looking for it. But look at Shayesta. Shayesta's not interested in this Dragon at all. I don't think the rest of the team should be either. If your Caitlyn's not there, you should get the hell out of there. If they get hit by 1 Kaisa W and Shayesta has been shown, it looks like they're going to
get this away. They're not. They realized with the Caitlyn down there that wasn't gonna happen.
Regardless, that is second Dragon, and each Mound Dragon makes it so much. Oh, Leona's just going in! Caitlyn will be here pretty quickly. Okay, I guess she just wanted to plant in, not be in. That's kind of funny.
Say hi.
Yeah, it works out. Whatever. Definitely scared everyone there for a second. Jump scare moment. Regardless, the Kaisa is going to start scaling. Doesn't have any EP yet. Tilted Tower is going in with an interesting ultimate. I think a Mumu ult's going to be pretty big here. Caitlyn's just free hitting on everyone, but look at the Kaisa. Kaisa also free hitting. Gets ulted now, exhausted now. I think the damage is just going to be enough on Luxon. If anyone looks at him, no one's looking though. Shayesta finally gets the ultimate off. They do get the kill on Zach and Leona while that's happening. And Marquise is just, he can maybe escape. Luxodon, once again, trying to be on the side, getting picks. I think Don Clarion is able to escape with his life. Marquise, not so lucky. I don't see a way out for him from here. Will get shut down. And even though they get the Dragon, the fight afterwards is just a disaster. And it looked like Tilted Towers just wanted any fight whatsoever and picks the wrong one.
Unfortunately, the Mumu able to get repositioned, able to get close enough to the Kaisa. If he does it, Kaisa runs away with that fight, but able to get the damage in there, push her out. And now we got it silent coming.
Shayesta's in a little bit of trouble here because Rom will go down now. These ultimates will hurt. Shayesta uses the heal, but now look, Kaisa's here, and Kaisa does not have a problem with killing Mundo.
Styla Hearts just comes right in and says, yeah, you got a Mundo, but I can kill that Mundo.
They can also ignore your Mundo, kill your Braum while focusing entirely on Shayesta, and kill her too immediately afterwards.
We kind of talked about this earlier with this Gwen. If she can get to the late game, if she can get her items, she's got the seal going. She's fixing to get the Rabadons completed. Then she's gonna be scary.
Now, a movement ult is available. They could look for a pick, but it's got to involve Luxodon, and I just don't know if there's enough damage burst to put on Luxodon if Leona's just in between Ezreal and Leona's just in there and she will die immediately. Not quite. Locket is just so good. Caitlyn ult not gonna do enough damage. Dark Magician Girl's already down. Luxon does eventually go down with the help of a Mumu ult. Hep does have passive. I can't imagine anyone saving him out of this one though. I mean, you can't ask for a teleport in this situation. Mundo's even fighting Ziggs right now, so Ziggs is caught too. And everyone's just dying right before Baron spawns. Marquise will go down to Mundo, perhaps. No, Gwen scares him off there. And finally, Caitlyn finishes. Silent Heart's trying to get something. Gets one, might get two, gets bursted down. Baron is up. They do have all the tools necessary to take it. And I don't even remember how that fight started. It was just crazy.
So it started up at the middle. Tilted was pushing forward, and Dark Magician again just eating forward to take these shots. Tilted turned around to put the ult on, but everyone just got too close. The Mumu able to get in there and lock him down. And again, Luxodon's so close to getting around these giant meat shields, but just barely gets caught out. And unfortunately, it cost him. If Luxodon is just a little bit out of position at the start of that fight, it has a little bit more distance, I think she cleans that fight up.
So the gold is basically even at this point of the game. You can tell the item difference is pretty real between the AD carries. That QSS is for CC. It's not really stats, especially whenever it's not finished. And the enemy AD carry has 4 completed items. But for the rest of the map, I mean, the champions are pretty equivalent. Mundo hit his level 16, but so is Gwen. Gwen level 16 is no slouch. And Dark Magician Girl, you know, she can definitely E4 and get some kills. She can also E4 and eat a Leona ult. So it really is about Luxodon.
Gwen now has that rabbit on. So now she's got a bunch more damage that she's going to be able to throw out. So can anybody handle her on a split push? I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to put her on a split push. See if the Mundo can hold her back, or
oh, Hep is jumping in on Dark Magician Girl, who E's out for the first time in her life. Does escape for now, and the engage is dissipated. This fight upstairs, I mean, I don't know how it goes, because you try to bait out the Mundo ult, and then you win the next fight, or you just burst through before he ults, and you win the fight, like, immediately. I don't know. It feels like
Silent is content to take the fight immediately.
Yeah, not getting the Mundo ult yet, but getting the inhibitor. You can't Mundo ult inhibitor, that's for sure. And now they're just getting mid inhib too. Dragon is going down to a Mumu right now, but you're losing 2 inhibs for Soul Point. I think Young Goldman should be able to finish this, although it's really slow. You've already got 2 dragons, so you're taking it slower than usual. Plus, you're just a Mumu. Kaisa's going to face check. I don't know, Young Goldman, are you going to be able to finish this? He has to run away, and now Kaisa's here, Hep is here. Pretty sure that Young Goldman just leached the dragon over to Hep. And now he needs to get out. Tilted Towers gets the nice ultimate. You get a kill as well. So, just to be clear, they decided to give up the N2 inhib so they could get Dragon, but they don't commit enough, so they also lose Dragon and 2 kills. Their only solace is if they can catch Silent Hearts, who has Ghost. Looks like it won't be used, though. Wants to go for the fight immediately. They can't even leverage Ezreal being there to be able to get a kill on Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen's trading is a little scary at this point. The Mundo knows it can't just go straight into this Gwen, and they sent the Mundo correctly to try to deal with it, and they gave up so much for nothing.
Yep, they had Baron, and they lost 2 inhibs and a dragon. That's the score as it stands.
And even though they had the Baron, they didn't ever get to push anywhere, and they still lost the 2 inhibs. And again, you have to wonder, how are you dealing with this Gwen at this point? If this Gwen is on the split push, you're either going to adjust your strategy and either A, go for a 5-man and push the team fight, or you're going to have to just bleed at this point because the Gwen is content to take any fight with anybody they send at her.
I'm not entirely sure how you force the Gwen to leave. I mean, arguably, even if you try to force the fight, Syndicate Strokers can just give up their dragon. They'll take your base. Baron's a bit of a different matter, but I don't know that you could do Baron before to take your base.
Now we have to see how they're going to respond here. Can they get this Caitlyn still down a little bit in gold, still a little bit down in items, but she's been able to stay safer than the Kaisa. Do they want to take a team fight?
We'll have to find out after this brief pause for our sponsors. So yeah, game state, very interesting. Still supers coming for like 5 or 6 more waves, top and mid. Solo spawning in 3 minutes, and those inhibs will not be up. I think it'll be up like about a minute after Dragon is alive. Your team fight is probably still okay for OMT, but that's just ignoring that. Like maybe if Gwen just decides to walk with her team, you can take a 5v5. Without that option, OMT is in a very difficult situation for sure.
I think you keep Gwen in a side lane. You keep her pushing, and if they can't respond to that, then you're content to just let Gwen do her thing and let them try to respond and take what you can off of that. Otherwise, at this point, you need to push all in on this Gwen, kill her before her team gets there, and then turn around and take the follow-up fight with Leona on your face, Zac on your face, and then a Kaisa.
Yeah, I don't know. At least they get a little bit of time to think about it, because this is quite the conundrum. Additionally, it's so hard to start a 5v5 whenever you're talking about the enemy team being what it is. Again, they can't really use Dragon to force it, because you'll lose your base for 3rd Dragon. It's not worth. And Baron is going to be a little bit difficult whenever you're talking about so much magic damage. You know, we criticized it being so much magic damage, but if you're shredding their MR with Baron, it works out perfectly.
So here we go. They've escorted up. Interestingly, Kaisa's content to push this up by themselves.
Yeah, but Amumu's on the wrong side of the map. Amumu is currently matching top lane supers, so it's not like they're forcing a fight without him. And I don't know how they protect this bot lane inhibitor tower. This is normal, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know how Spectator works. It will freeze a little bit after a pause to just recalibrate, and then we'll be good. Dark Magician Girl cannot E forward. Oh, Tilted Tower's a little bit in there. No big deal, though. And this is where you don't have Shyesta on Vayne, so you don't have the late game insurance. At this point in the game, they had Kimtech Soul. They had a late game Vayne. It was totally fine. Now you have none of those things. It's a lot harder to play these fights.
Well, they still have the Mundo. If anything but the Gwen is near the Mundo. McFlurry doesn't care. Gwen is kind of the only thing he really cares about at this point.
Now, Tilted Towers is looking pretty aggressively for a pick, but he needs to be careful. Kaisa's on the other side of the map. Yes, there's not that much pick potential, because I don't think you're going to get Amumu committing completely onto Leona.
Marquise,
but if you get poked out like Marquise is right now, Seraph's goes down, and that's a slight cooldown that you would really like to keep.
If that Braum had committed and flashed ulted, that Marquise was going to die.
And this is the only way that you lose whenever you have this Gwen super power split pushing, is whenever you play the side lanes poorly and let the fight be forced where Gwen has to teleport in late.
So they've got Kate pushing out as much as she can, kind of being guarded here. You still got Dark Magician Girl, who I think wants to fight that Gwen alone.
It's a bit tough. I don't really want to be here, says Ezreal. Like, she could definitely sit back and wave clear, but what wave clear is it really? Tilted Tower's still looking to force. Again, they should be playing around this Gwen to the point where they ask the question, but leave it unanswered until you see more than Ezreal bot lane. You don't have to force before that. Because look at this, Silent Hearts, oh, they will force this way. This way's a little bit better because you're not as worried about the late TP. And also, there's just no vision. So OMT's not aware this is happening, or they've given up on it. It looks like now they will know the Baron will be stopped, and Dark Magician Girl is a little bit caught out. I think this tower should go down. I don't think Silent Hearts cares at all that he's technically on the wrong side of this. Inhibitor goes down, and no one's answering. No one can come to help Ezreal. So I think Dark Magician Girl is... Oh, she has to eat that way, which isn't good enough, because the ultimate should kill her. The teleport comes out, but it's just too late, and now they can Baron while you're teleporting to deal with the threat that you've created. And Tilted Towers gets on the Braum. Now, it looks like finally they will answer Silent Heart, but they do it at the cost of the Inhib and Baron, and potentially Corleone dying as well. Young Golden not looking to commit to that, because that is a lost fight. Does use his body as a jump for Dark Corleone. Tilted Towers does not care, though. he will continue to go in. Hep will continue to go in, who does have passive. But now it is a complete 4v4. You don't have Gwen. So it's completely on Kaisa, who is now between two tanks, has to flush over into the wrong base. They can just walk through. Does E out. It looks like Luxodon will go down here. Might get McFlurry, at least not quite. And again, they're just not leveraging the Gwen correctly.
They leveraged it at the start with the Baron, but then this weird... I will say, if you watch the replay, the Braum ult canceled Hep's ability to get on top of the Braum, and it brought Braum enough time to be able to get back to his team and leapt away. If the Braum ult doesn't cancel Zach's ult right there, I think this is a completely different story. But the overchase again, Luxodon gets caught out by the Amumu. She was on top of the Ziggs. They were clumped together. And again, Mumu able to get in there and take out the Luxodon, who has been the big bulk of their damage.
Okay, so if I'm Silent Hearts right now, I'm like, please, team, please, team. All I need you to do is fight whenever I'm alive and I can get base damage, okay? Either let me teleport in and we'll win the 5v5 very easily, or force the fights whenever I can get base damage. Do not fight whenever I've died and we've gotten the base damage already. And unfortunately, I mean, yeah, you're right that it was a small technical... Oh, Silent Hearts, however, trying to fight too, does use the spell immune pretty well, and I don't think Ezreal has enough damage to really deal with this. Silent Hearts respects it, but there's a Leona coming up, and Dark Magician Girl has to E now, will get E'd up, and there's no way Dark Magician Girl lives through this. Braum is trying his best. Dark Magician Girl able to E that way, will die anyways, and now the rest of the team is here collapsing, and you've got 3 people versus a Baron up, incredibly scaled Syndicate Strokers team.
So it looks like they learned their lesson, able to punish him.
Caitlyn is absolutely dead. Uses the QSS, but the knockup doesn't care. Luxodon comes in as well to finish. This should be the game for Syndicate Strokers. They get Tilted Towers in exactly where he needs to be. They get the second inhib. They'll get the third inhib if they want. Or they could just go for the second game, tying it up 1-1 after these towers go down. I can't imagine McFlurry protecting these towers. He can't even kill the minions, and I think he might just die now. So the Nexus will fall, and it will be 1-1.
You Dark Magician Girls eating into everything against her, waited for it, and then immediately turned on, and yeah, collapsed on it and got the kill they needed. After Dark Magician Girl was off, they just kind of ran everybody down. So they were able to hang on, but in the end, eating forward as Ezreal, not always what you should be doing.
It's fun though. It's definitely the more fun way to play.
Let's take a look at this damage here. Let's pull up these numbers here. That is a 37-minute game, and you would think the damage would be normalized, right? Let's see here. So you got the Kaisa with 48k, the Ziggs with 44. Gwen with 49k, and then yeah, Dark Magician Girl with 39k. The Caitlyn a little behind there with 26k. Not able to get her full damage out there, unfortunately, a lot of the time. Mundo did take 92k damage though. He was the sponge he's known to be.
So OMT have decided to go back to blue, which I think is nice because they've got a really good first pick. You can still pick the Ezreal in my opinion, although maybe some slight changes could be necessary, but it didn't do poorly. It was a nice flex, made the picks awkward for Syndicate. But I think if there's one thing that OMT have learned from the last few games is that having inevitability is a really powerful tool for them. Because these games are going late, the macro is going just slightly against them, even in the first game, where they had Soul. In the late game macro, I feel like Syndicate Strokers kind of fought back. Now in the early game, they lost Soul, like with no contest, basically. But if you allow yourself to win the early game macro in the same way for OMT, and then you give yourself inevitability, it doesn't matter that Syndicate Strokers might be able to get a few nice late game team fights, which they did in both games, including their loss, because you've got a 40-minute Vayne, or whatever inevitability you want to go with.
I think we should see some adjustments in the ban. I can't imagine they're going to give Ezreal again at this point in time. Let's ban the Ezreal and at least see what else Dark Magician Girl has up her sleeve. And I think Chad already pointed this out as too. Let's not give the Gwen main Gwen.
It just looked very strong.
And allow a 37-minute game where Gwen can kind of manhandle a lane like that, especially when you don't punish it earlier. Kind of got away from giving ganks over to bully some around. So kind of want to see some changes there. The fights back and forth again. It was pretty close there. OMT kind of hanging on, but in the end there, Stroker's just able to knock towers down when they wanted to and take inhibs when they wanted to.
Yeah, but to your point, take away that Gwen, and the late game of Syndicate Strokers does not look anything like that. Ziggs is known as a late game powerhouse. So is Kaisa. I don't think those champions were used to their full potential as much as Gwen was. So you do the same draft except you take away Gwen, and you get your early game advantages or some kind of inevitability like Mundo, and it just looks like a completely different game. And I think that OMT wants to keep that in mind whenever they're drafting.
I loved Luxodon on that Kaisa as well. Same rules apply. I might maybe take the Kaisa away. I mean, Luxodon at one point was up almost 2 items on Kate, and like 10 kills, and Kate had like 40 CS difference. Kate was able to kind of recover some of it, but yeah, the Kaisa just able to exert so much pressure there and get a lot of work done until the Mumu Young on that Mumu, able to get a lot of work in, able to lock down and get the right targets there. Going through the Leona, pretty nice to see it. So have to see what they're going to do.
Okay, so we
with
are in the draft. Let's Ezreal will be first picked by OMT for the 3rd time in a row. Bans looking pretty similar so far. LeBlanc gone the entire series. What will be the updates as we get into the 3rd and final game of the series? Nothing so far. Wei also banned.
These look familiar. I've seen these somewhere before.
But I could see taking away Vayne again from Shayesta. I think that was a good adaptation between game 1 and game 2. So I could see it being repeated again for Syndicate Strokers. And so I imagine the second ban will be Vayne, and it is. But what's the update for OMT? Leona ban. I don't know how I feel about that. It does not feel like Leona was the difference maker. Maybe there's something in lane that I didn't see. Well, that's not true, actually. There was a lot of points where Caitlyn was left 1v2, and Caitlyn's normally a very safe lane. Just absolutely wasn't allowed to exist because Tilted Towers got those dives off because Leona has that ability.
Yeah, I could see there.
Ezreal,
but again,
by the way,
I'm shocked.
as we all knew.
Ezreal not banned. All right. Gwen not banned again. All right.
Yeah, but you can't blind pick Gwen, and I could see OMT updating the Mundo to something else, and it might work out. The biggest shock to me is the Ezreal allowed through again, but maybe Syndicate Strokers just picks a very similar lineup. If they again wait to Gwen till after bans 2, OMT can just allow the draft to go the same exact as before and then ban Gwen in ban 2, but it doesn't because Kai'Sa's gone and replaced with Zeri.
So, I mean, I haven't seen a Zeri mid in a while, but still technically can function.
Yes, it could be potentially possible. I honestly could see Syndicate Strokers updating the Ziggs. I don't think Ziggs did his job in the matchup versus Ezreal. It did fine, but you need to pick something that can withstand the pressure if Hep's not going to put out that pressure, which if you pick Zac again, maybe he will. Maybe just update his play. Brand picked as another unforced change for OMT. I really like the Amumu. Brand, however, does something completely different.
Yeah, it could be Brand jungle, or again, you can now flex the Ezreal bot and run the Brand mid, although I haven't seen anybody doing that in a while. Yeah, and they elect to bring back the Ziggs.
Okay, so if I'm OMT, I say take out that Gwen, please. Do not allow that to go through whenever they're probably going to pick, again, a scaling top laner that would let Gwen go free. But I don't know that they fear it as much as they should.
So again, the Jax ban coming out, so I have to see what OMT is going to do here.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Immediately. We're not messing around. Get that out of here. I could also see taking Hep off Zach. It felt like a lot of his. I mean, on the other hand, Zach didn't quite do exactly what he needed to, but his gank still worked out very well just because the nature of Zach being able to gank is very easy. And even though the pressure maybe went in the wrong direction and went bot lane instead of mid, whenever Dark Magician Girl kept on playing into the ganks, picking Zach again for Hep could just make that change, go get mid instead of bot, get a huge gains, or just go bot lane and hope that Zeri can scale in a way that Luxodon was almost able to do with Kaisa until it got picked up by Gwen. Zyra instead is very different for Hep. I really like a Mumu for him, but Zyra would be interesting.
I thought they were gonna lock the Mumu back in. Okay, yeah. Looks
Yeah,
like they're gonna
yeah.
lock
Mumu
the
makes a lot of
back in.
sense. And Mumu does everything that Zach does late game. It does everything that Zach that Hep basically did game 2 with Zach. You know, Zach does a lot more powerful ganks, but Hep wasn't really utilizing that much. Why not just put him on a Mumu where if you power farm, it's okay. Your late game is really nice, and you still got potential for early game ganks if Dark Magician Girl continues to play into it.
Now, Sin Strokers has also put themselves in a position where now they can possibly play the Aurora top, which can absolutely bully a top laner. I'm not a big fan of her mid, but her kit will work with exactly with what they're trying to do here. Like, so we might actually get to see an Aurora finally.
Aurora, what's that?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, no, yeah. You know,
Okay, Sivir would do the duty of Vayne, not quite as good without the counter pick here, but Sivir, you know, late game insurance, does really great with the way that these team fights are going, especially without the Kaisa able to jump in. I really like the Sivir adaptation here.
I like the Sivir.
That's
I
not an Aurora.
cannot be of the same on the Garen.
That's not Aurora. I was promised Aurora.
I thought
I'm
we were gonna
angry.
get some Aurora action, and we got a Garen. Boo! Oh, we got a Trundle.
I like Trundle though.
I like
Does
Trundle better.
yeah, it does a lot of the same things that Aurora potentially would do. Bullies the Ornn very nicely. And does make it so that way you get that late game assurance top lane that you really utilized with the Gwen. Now, will it pop off the same way the Gwen did? I'm not sure, especially into Ornn instead of Mundo. Two very different tanks that feel the same where, you know, late game they take over, but Ornn has a little bit better time early game and has some nice, you know, ability to deal with the late game as well, making all of your other allies stronger. I have to say, if Hep does not put focus on this mid lane, Dark Magician Girl could just completely destroy Marquise again. And that's not really a, you know, a knock on Marquise. It's hard to play into an Ezreal that's allowed to E in, allowed to get lane pressure, and just not punished at all by your jungler. But it does put a strong beacon on like where that change needs to be between game 2 and game 3.
Yeah, I do like the lineup better here. I love the Trundle into the Ornn. The Trundle can absolutely kind of bully an Ornn around, and also as well make Braum pretty much vanish when he ults the Braum, and the Braum no longer has any armor whatsoever or any stats. But it'll be really kind of curious to see now how they approach at least from OMT side, because now you have the Sivir who absolutely wants to get to the late game, and then you've got the Zeri here who, with the Nautilus, is going to absolutely want to push the tempo at the start of the game. And that Zeri Nautilus, if it gets an early lead, that Sivir's not going to have a good day.
Absolutely. And especially, you can't really leave Sever hanging like you did last game. There were a lot of times that Don Clarion, who is also leaving us hanging right now, just call him out a little bit. Not really, but you know, he would go for objectives and maybe they would get the objectives, but Shayesta would just die. And yes, you got rid of the Leona. I think Nautilus is going to do very much the same thing if you're not careful. Yes, you have a spell shield now, but I don't know. You can't really leave Shayesta alone.
I mean, you really shouldn't, and worse, if you don't rotate, now you have Brand into a Mumu fighting for objectives. If the Mumu knows how to get around the Brand combo, he's just gonna like push into this Brand and lock the Brand down so the Brand can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it is a bit more difficult. Now, there is going to be a bit of a longer delay once again. Apologies. These team members like to really put some time between draft and playing. But we will be in a break. The break might be about twice as long as usual. I'm not entirely sure yet. But I'm excited to get back into game for the final game, and we will see you soon.
Get your predictions.
And every time I hear your voice, like my feelings are not sure. And every time I hear your voice, I wish I could remember. Oh It feels like murder. Setting them alight when I lit that flame. Try pulling up side by side for the race, just realize that we're in a different lane. Yeah, see I'm out here killing the game. How can you claim that we're living the same? See in reality being on a similar stage. You're sitting in the crib while I'm singing my name. That flames, whole of the city on lock. The coldest flows and the cream of the crop. Weave them bees with a lean and a bop. Got a phone line ringing to the heat don't stop. I feel like king of the hill when they're never gonna take my crown. That's the type of my sound. Better rise up when I shut this down. I feel like king of the hill when they're never gonna take my crown. That's the type of my sound. Better rise up when I shut this. My God. I feel like king of the hill when they're king of the hill. My God.
Done so dark, got me weak when I wake up. On a weekend when I'm not messed up. What a shame you only know my name. What a show call off your circus. All your jokes come off so ruthless. Bye bye, you can miss me with that shit. I think of you when I'm intoxicated. I don't know why I get frustrated.
Welcome to Game 3, the final game between OMT and Syndicate Strokers, and I've got a bit of a surprise for you. Dark Magician Girl cannot E forward. She's playing Sivir. They moved the Sivir mid, and Shayesta is actually playing Ezreal now.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
This is yeah. This is gonna get a little interesting here. With the poor Ziggs is gonna try to package, and Sivir's gonna say nope.
And you can't punish Dark Magician Girl's E forward if she doesn't E. or doesn't E forward, because it's not possible.
This is also true. Interesting here, I guess. With the Nautilus, they're like, no, we're not gonna invade this time. We're just gonna be content to 5 point here to start out.
So, Sivir versus Ziggs just feels a lot better for Sivir than Ezreal. So I do feel like it's a really nice pick. I'm curious if Marquise even was aware, because he would have had to seen him champion select right before the game started. You know, they have time after it's locked in. But, you know, that was whenever that distinction was made. And, man, you just can't really easily Q the Sivir without taking a ton of damage for it.
Yeah, and we tried to look it up during the break to see. I was looking to see if she has any games on this Sivir, because I didn't see anything there. So it'll be interesting to see how. Sivir's not exactly the hardest kit we're talking about here, but it'll be interesting to see if she knows the champ.
100%. And meanwhile, the bot lane also is a lot better for Ezreal than it would have been Sivir. I mean, Sivir's fine down here. But it does feel like Ezreal's just completely safe, even with this level 2 gap. But they get level 2 now. And Braum is going to stack that up. Tilted Towers is stunned and taking 2 casters to the face. Will go down to half health. Jesta's now doing the E and forward impression. It's not just Dark Magician Girl, but the hook here is pretty scary. Has flash up, does do it now, gets first blood, but will die for it. Oh,
I mean, you're fine with that.
and the walk away.
You're taking that first one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're fine.
Especially now that you get tiered, so you got a really nice purchase whenever you come back. We'll be able to continue to bully the Zeri. Meanwhile, top lane looks a little bit more dire than it was last time. A lot more health bars going down really low.
Silent took a lot more damage than he intended. And realized
And it is a little bit scary against Orin.
Maybe he shouldn't have picked that fight in the middle of all the creeps taking that damage too.
Now, junglers are in interesting paths. I'm not sure that a Mumu can really dive Orin, especially the state. Oh, E-buffer. Classic. So I think Hepa just has to kind of farm it out. Whereas Brand has a real option to either punish these hooks coming out from Tilted Towers or punish off of Braum Q.
LeBrand can also choose to rotate down in the mid and pick that fight with Ziggs. So we'll have to see if he's gonna wait here for the bot gate.
Oh my gosh, this is such a good bait. The hookin only lands on the Braum. Once Braum gets passive on anyone, they're in so much trouble, but he hasn't hit anything yet. And the Q is way too late. There's just too many minions.
Meanwhile, Hep waiting up top, very patient this time, waiting for a gank. See if the Ornn will push through. I would expect.
It looks like he's pressing the recall button.
Oh,
cancels it.
That he's close because Brand was just bottom. Well, he needs to
oh my god, so many canceled recalls, but they are going to get something. Silent Hearts is low health, though. I don't know how much he can help with the cannon coming in. Now, Trundle passive is pretty good. Hep does get a lot of CC, but I don't think they can finish anything. Silent Hearts is just too low, even with the passive. Oh no, is the can... Oh, doesn't ward the right bush, so it's going to be okay. Hep does finally finish a recall. But it's still, like, Brand has already done 2 camps. Or 1 camp since his recall. And Hep just now recalls.
Yeah, Silent needs to be careful here. He's going to lose a ton of CS if McFlurry decides to try to go into this fight.
Brand is also looking for the dive potential, ignoring the bot lane camps to come up here. There aren't any of Hep's camps up to look for, so this is just a dive attempt. They might not even need the Brand. Trundle actually gets a lot of damage off with the tower, but the flash out secures the kill for Young Goblin. Oh wait, Goblin? 2 health? It's totally fine. Nope, no worries. Not even close.
Not yet. Still alive, he says. Although now it does mean Hep wisely sees that the Brand is up there. He's like, hey, look, my guys are pushing. I have lane prio. Yay!
Yes. Not gonna get caught out by lanes this time. I'm pretty sure that'll be caught by a pause. There we go. Might have a brief little freeze as well to catch up with that. But they should get the dragon. They should get the crash off bot lane. They even get a hook right from off the... Oh, I think Oriana might be into trouble here. That's the W out, but the shield will protect him for now. But they still get the dragon, so pretty good.
Hep does secure first dragon. Love to see it. Able to get that off because the Brand...
knows my problems this time for sure.
Went for a crazy dive.
Regardless, so this means First Dragon does go over to the team that has the Trundle, which is really nice, but I don't know, Silent Hearts might still be struggling here. Did get dove earlier. Has a bit of a CS equity right now. Might not after these minions die. Depends on how much McFlurry can hit under tower. Actually, yeah, that's just like a full wave advantage. Oh, he's just gonna freeze.
Oh, McFlurry. You do see Brand going bot, so Mumu is able to get up and might be able to push this and get another objective, or he might try to drop.
It does look like Hep is right on the grubs. While Dark Magician Girl is getting burned out by Marquise, no mana there for Dark Magician Girl either. McFlurry actually in a bit of trouble here. I think Trundle is just going to be too good. The McFlurry ult does come out now, but he will fall, and Trundle gets a solo kill despite the deficit.
Yeah, Trundle kind of starts eating Ornn after level 6, so it kind of gets worse there for poor Ornn.
And
again, able to get void grubs, so that's you love to see it.
like, yeah, Hep's ganks may not have been amazing, but his speaking of ganks, Young Goblin comes in with a flash, gets a flash out of Ziggs, does not get the kill in the end. But meanwhile, Hep is just taking his blue buff.
Yeah, Hep taking this blue buff from Brand is you love it. Right off the objective, go in there and take it. He saw Brand coming across, so he knows Brand is now in mid. He's going to be able to secure it. Brand is going to find
Level
out
6 bot lane, by the way. Both ultimates for Luxton and Tilted Towers, no ultimates for Shayesta, so they have to back off. Meanwhile, Hep finds Goblin. There's no one here yet, but Ornn is on the way with no ultimate. It doesn't even matter. Hep's just going to get a solo kill.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier with the Brand not having those rotations early on. If Hep wants to, he can punish that Brand, does punish it, and poor Brand does unfortunately fall over.
Yeah, and this is a major difference between what Young Goblin was playing in Game 1 and Game 2, and in Game 3. Brand is just not quite the same champion. Not able to get the ganks quite off as well. The dive worked out top lane, but it just meant the tempo was so bad. And then the gank mid lane meant, again, you got Marquise's flash, but you got solo killed afterwards.
Tilted taking a lot of damage on that Nautilus dancing around.
And top lane just looks so much harder for McFlurry than it did even 2 minutes ago. Now Tilted Towers going in with the ult. Has to flash out for Shayesta. She does get out. But Coleon is not even 6 yet, and this wave is huge. Will W now, but now your 80 carries in a bit of trouble. E forward from Luxodon. They are just going to get the crash for now. But I think that Ezreal is not faring as well as I thought that she would.
But it's there, but the Ezreal does have a kill. Is not bad in the CS department, should be able to equalize, but if Mumu wants to come down here and punish this more, because now he knows the Brand is going to be a little bit behind, he can come down here and try to get a quick gank in.
I mean, these fights are so close to the tower, but no tower shot. Oh, there's a tower shot! I was just waiting for Silent to be a little bit too close, and Brand is on the way, on a ward though.
Now he knows, Hep knows the Brand is top. He knows.
Wait, they're bringing the duo here. It's going to be on a ward. But Marquise doesn't care. He just wave clears. Like, you can bring Ezreal, you can bring Braum, that's fine.
Really, I wanted to see Hep immediately kind of try to push down bot and see if he can get a gank in, but it looks like they're on a reset, and they're going to reset before this dragon.
Right, and this dragon could be pretty important. There's a lot of poke for both teams. Meanwhile, something important. Dark Magician Girl gonna get hooked, has to flash out. Now Tilted Towers is pretty in there though, and Young Goblin is gonna get the damage. Flash out for Tilted Towers, still taking quite a bit of damage. Should be okay for now, and the fight... I mean, that's a lot of ultimates before Dragon.
It did eat 2 ults in the process, so he'll take that.
And I don't know who gets this Ocean Dragon, but it's looking like Syndicate Strokers has quite the advantage. Brand ult is down, Sivir ult is down. The wave control is deeply Marquise's favored right now.
I like what Hep is doing in here. He knows because of where Braum is at, he can push deep into this jungle, get some wards in, take some more camp from Brand. And looks like Young isn't even bothering to come down bot. He's already coming up top. Might try to get something in with this Trundle. And concede over Dragon Control to Hep.
Yeah, if they get the kill on Silent, it would be okay to give up 2 dragons, but this is a bit of a hard gank to work. But if you just get the knock up into the stun, shouldn't have a problem. I can't imagine any damage coming out from Silent Hearts. He will fall, but that does mean Hep is absolutely going to start that dragon.
Does look like Tilted again is having some DC problems, but you like this play. They got the Trundle gank off, immediately they're going to push into the objective. Ornn is going to say thank you for these plates, and so they are getting to get some work done and just kind of trade these objectives.
Right, as long as they don't give up soul, they do have quite a bit of inevitability with the Sivir, Ezreal, Ornn comp. But at the same time, these next dragon fights are going to be kind of hard. Dark Magician Girl getting owned out by Tilted Towers right now.
That's not Dark Magician. Remember, she's... Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm the one that got confused.
Yeah, I
Wait a
don't know
minute,
why
Easy-
Dark Magician goes
Easy's
down here
middle.
either, but she
Why?
is hooked
I'm
up.
confused.
Doesn't have the special shield yet. Nautilus ult is pretty good, but now they're under tower. Amumu looking for an ultimate, can't quite find it. Hepa is taking so much damage. The stun is so close, not quite able to come in. The hook does, however. That means Dark Magician Girl will go down. So will Braum. However, Hep did die on the side there. But you'll take it, for sure.
Zeri getting 2 quick kills there. You love to see the Luxon in here. Getting some more kills. Does take a tower shot here, but so interesting that they sent the EZ, they sent Shy mid, and then Sivir comes back bottom, and then immediately gets Nautilus.
Yeah, quite
defaced.
interesting dive. It works out very well for them. I thought it was going to be a bit doomed there for a second, but unfortunately Dark Magician Girl just takes a few too many skill shots and is not able to survive. But she's back mid, teleported in, doesn't look worse for Rare, just getting farm for now.
So Silent is already opted to go full Hydra. Interesting. Usually you would do the T-Mat and not complete the Hydra first, but he says, no, I'm taking Hydra first.
Now, nothing is going to be up for a little bit except for this Herald. But, I don't know, it's just so hard to see Amumu not making a huge impact at any point, depending on where he decides to go. Right now, he might even be invading. And with Marquise, that could be a winning combination. They're at least getting vision. Does just immediately queue onto the blue buff. Wants to find Young Goblin no matter what. Does Young Goblin does get it. The Durst. I mean, they're both bursting each other, but no one quite does. Here comes Sivir. Dark Magician Girl can't Ian show Blast Plan and gets one. Now with the top side fight, and Sivir is coming. Actually, Sivir's still chasing Ziggs. Doesn't even care about the top lane fight. Gets the Q off, but this 1v1 is not as easy as she may think. She does get the ult off, dodges a lot of the damage, but still gets the kill. And, yeah, I guess, Hep maybe shouldn't have been that aggressive.
I think Hep made a whoopsie there on the brain. He should have waited and then ulted and then re-stunned, but it looked like he thought he didn't need it, and then he got punished for it.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. He has been bullying Young Goblin this entire time. I thought he had it for sure. Unfortunately, not able to get the kill off, and then running away was not going to work out for him, unfortunately, with Sivir chasing. Now, this might be first tower bot lane, though. Zeri will absolutely decimate this low health tower, and they get that gold. I mean, a lot of action on the other side of the map, kills everywhere, but Luxon is slowly building a massive golden map.
Yeah, Luxon on the Zeri is going to be, just like on the Kaisa, going to be a little bit scary. You cannot leave the Ezreal alone for long periods of time. There's no way that's going to fly. Nautilus has to tilt his like, wait a minute. I need to get back to my teammate.
Hook barely misses too, but yeah.
Now you got to
You can't leave Zeri alone unless she's near a wall. However, Hep is here. Both junglers here, actually. I don't think they want to go for anything, but...
I think they're going to try to force this. I don't think they realize...
Giants hooked. No E has to get ulted. Will heal. Now the Braum ult is coming, but Amumu's just straight up onto Young Goblin. Young Goblin is on Amumu, though. He is able to get the stun out. Sivir's here again. They get the kill this time, but Dark Magician Girl will fill up that, pick up that at the back end. Luxon is just really strong right now, but the ability of Ezreal, the EWQ, means that there's no kills going down bot lane on that side of the fight, at least. And top lane, I mean, this could turn into something.
So Silence content, let McFlurry push out, eat everything.
Wait, this is an Ornal. The tower's going really low, but it's not low enough. That tower is still hitting you at 1 health. It doesn't even matter. Trundle's just healing so much off the ultimate and off the passive. It's so close, but McFlurry does not live long enough, and Silent Hearts utilizes the passive. Doesn't care about taking tower shots. Will still take the tower. And Mountain Drake is up, but Dark Magician goes up here with no teleport.
Dark Magician is come up top, and now she's in a real bad spot. She knows it. She's trying to rotate back, but now they've got Prio in here. I would have.
And this would be the third dragon. It would be very...
and not leave it there. Think they're being a little risky here, not pulling this dragon out.
I don't know how they get into steal though. Young Goblin can't even blast plan at this point. They do get the dragon. The fight afterwards might be in their favor though. Ornn doesn't have teleport. Trundle does. So Trundle might back off here to teleport. I mean, right now they're just kind of leaving Tilted to die though. Does flash out, gets the locket shield off, might live for now, but I guess is gonna try to get some kind of snipe. Flashes in! You can't do that, can you? Absolutely can. Flashes in to kill the support. They still gave up soul point though. Hep, you can't face check that either. That camp's not yours, bro.
Shaista decided to E and flash into that one, take that kill, somehow managed to get out. Crazily enough.
Yeah, I guess it's not just Dark Magician Girl that likes to go forward. Regardless, that's still soul point over to Syndicate Strokers. They've still got the gold lead. And yes, Ornn has that inevitability of level 13, level 14, but only is level 12 right now. Probably will get out one ornament maybe on himself, maybe on one other person before soul spawns. And I don't know that OMT Zeus can keep up the macro decisions to get every dragon from this moment.
Well, now you have the same thing that we had last time. Now you have the Trundle who can exert the pressure over the Ornn in the solo lane. And so now what do? Do you bring Ornn in the team fights? Because you know the Trundle is looking to push the Ornn now. Knows he can solo him one-on-one on these long lanes. Do you want to leave
That is a
here?
really nice AoE build for Luxodon, by the way. Going with Static Shiv into Runans. Waves will not survive at all. Shasta getting ulted by Tilted Towers. I'm not sure if the follow-up's here. Zigzult will come out. Root comes in. Zerial comes in. And they can just pick an Ezreal like that. However, Ziggs could go down on the other side. I think Young Golden will die for this, though. And now top lane, again, like you said, it's really difficult for Ornn to match this. Even Tilted Towers is getting a little... Okay, bro. You used your flash last time aggressively. Is able to live this time, because I guess Shayesta doesn't have a flash anymore. But definitely pretty aggressive there.
Very aggressive. I don't think Shayesta meant to move that close to Tilted Towers when she took that hook, and then just was not able to get away at that point.
Yeah,
But
Tilted Towers showed it on the Leona.
5 kills on the Sivir.
Absolutely, but I'm not sure if inevitably matters if you give up the first 3 dragons. You have to make the Sivir matter before Soul dies. So yes, she has 2.5 minutes to really earn her mark and get a third item so that way she can actually win the Soul fight for her team. But any mistake, even a steal, and suddenly the game's a lot harder. Shasta is able to E out this time. I mean, those waves do not live against Static Shiv and Runan's teleport behind those. Teleport's really good. Luxodon can E out. Tilted Towers does not have that luxury. They're actually going after Zeri anyways because Ornhorn is just too good at that. Baron is up if they choose to go for it. And they just got Luxodon, which is one of the most fed members of the team.
Able to
However, they still have to deal with Trundle.
Trundle needs to... They have to respond. It looks like they are going to send somebody back, but I'm surprised they're electing to just try to push this tower instead of trying to force something to Baron.
Have been looking for an ultimate maybe. Nope, just baiting them, but it does do a lot of damage with just the tower shots alone.
Trundle is able to take this tower. Now McFlurry is going to have to respect. He cannot push against the Trundle. He's going to lose that 1v1 matchup. Trundle now has Triforce completed. Ornn did take the Thornmail, but I think the Trundle can out-heal it at this point.
Okay, so this is the final reset before Dragon spawns. Sivir is going top lane to get a wave or a camp, I believe, but this will be the final item that Dark Magician Girl can fight before she fights for her team's life at this Dragon Pit.
Now, do you force the Baron here?
I mean, it's so risky. I could see Syndicate Stroker saying, you're going to put all these resources on the Dragon. We're just going to go Baron. You can have a Mountain Dragon as a treat. We're going to take the Baron. But it's just do or die for OMT Zeus. Now, BF Sword's pretty good. And Tilted Towers is once again getting stunned up potentially. Nope, just a little bit late on that Q.
Need to keep the Zeri safe here. Hep is not where I would want him to be right now. He's trying to finish off some wolf camps. You really want him to be out here to start a fight at any moment with the Nautilus. So he is coming back. But now
Oh,
We're already
Coriana's a
able to
little
find
bit
the
caught
ball.
out. You're okay with it if it's just on Braum, but Braum's on the wrong side of the river. Now, they are using a lot here. Braum will use as well, and he doesn't actually go down. Young Goblin looking for the flank. I'm not sure he can flank, though, because he's getting hooked. McFlurry is here to protect, but that Zeri, if she doesn't go down now, will pop up. But she's going down. She's in half health. The shield's coming out. The barrier's coming out. Orn will still finish her off. And if Zeri's down, there's just no chance for Syndicate Strokers. Now, yes, Trundle will get... Wait, Trundle? Are you gonna get everything here? No, just the CC is enough, surely. And that does mean the Gambit has worked out so far for OMT Zeus. They should deny the soul here and potentially get more. I think the health bars are too low to do anything else.
I don't know.
But they
if
do
can-
deny the soul.
I don't think they can take this. If the Ziggs wants to push this, he could challenge it, but nope. Marquisi's not gonna do it.
Yeah, it is just their first dragon, so I respect it. It definitely would be a possibility, but if he got caught by Orn, by oh, it takes the
See,
kill. So yes, they don't get
would've
soul,
liked him
but
to
they get the
ultimate
kill.
ult. He should have waited for the ult on the dragon, but he takes the
Yeah.
takes the kill.
I mean, you're not gonna complain too much about getting a free kill whenever the fight's clearly over, especially with Baron on the table and McFlurry not having teleport. They're actually gonna utilize that, and you'll give up a dragon every time if you can get that Baron, which is what they're doing. So Ziggs ult actually being utilized again in the objective. They're teleporting everyone in. They're
Oh, I
starting
like
the Baron.
this.
Orn is not gonna be available right now.
Yes, I like this immediate response. Hey, we messed up a dragon. We know they don't have vision here. We're gonna immediately push this with our guys.
Yeah, now everyone is aware, but I think it's just too late. They finally get it. Tilted Towers can queue out if he does it right, does so, but maybe will get stunned, has to turn around and die for his team, but they did secure the bear. Oh, wait, actually stunned at a wall, but they have Sivir. There's no chance, right? Yeah, so will eventually fall, but gets his team 4 Barons.
I like the adjustment there. They went ahead and pushed for it immediately. I love the call. Luxodon, again, so close in that last fight from avoiding the damage, but the Ornhorn able to get the knock up against the wall, and he couldn't get out of it at that point in time. Just slight adjustment on position, and I think Zeri carries that fight for him, but
Oh, the Ornhorn coming out again. This time on Marquise is able to flash out, which is a longer cooldown than Orn ult. But you now have Baron, and you don't have to worry about Orn ult for a while.
again, they've got this Trundle and this split push. This is exactly what they want. They know they can't match the Trundle. They just need to send 4 middle, keep them distracted, let this Trundle work, but it doesn't look like their Trundle's already just kind of waiting to stall and ready to go, and guys are farming lanes with Baron up.
So this is basically a 0 crit build for Zeri, if I remember my items correctly. No, I'm wrong.
She's got
Rena's
static,
Hurricane still has
right?
crit.
Or she's got, yeah, it's 25% crit.
Yeah, which is very interesting. I like the Bloodthirster sometimes. It's interesting here in the way that it keeps Zeri alive. But I am a little bit worried about the lack of damage for Zeri. I mean, Zeri's never been one that like really needed like any crit burst damage per se. Like there are times where she was building Titanic Hydra, and this does protect her whenever they commit every CC to her. But it is something to note that she's not going to do as much damage as you're used to Zeri doing in previous metas.
Hep needs to get over here. Hep needs to get in front. Get this Luxodon, get this Marquise protected. Make sure they're able to get some damage onto these towers.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're into Sivir. And Sivir does not care about waves. Even the Baron waves are not that much of a problem here. Finally, they will get a tower because Ziggs W absolutely will destroy it. But I'm not sure they're getting more. Tilted Towers once more, though. Goes on Braum. Braum will go pretty low. It's still fine, though. And that's a lot of initiation cost used to get Braum low. Meanwhile, Trundle's kind of caught up here. Yes, he can 1v1 McFlurry in the best of situations, but Young Goblin is here. I'm not sure that he wins a 1v2. It looks like he's trying. They do have to run away now. So it will just be an answer of ultimate for ultimate.
I like what they
And
did
this
with the
does put the
Trundle.
pressure
They
mid
put
as
him on the
well.
Hull Breaker, but they're not able to push fast enough to make it work to where he could get help.
Oh, Tilted Tower's getting engaged on here. Actually, the ultimate only hits Amumu, but Ziggs, but Ziggs is a great target. Amumu flashes in with a great ultimate. Shayesta has to flash out. Sivir is the only one doing damage right now for OMT. I don't think it's enough. Luxodon is able to get on the backline and do everything. Dark Magician Girl, you can't fight those two and expect to win the fight. Yes, she will get up. Yes, she will get Nautilus, but Zeri's destroying the rest of her team. She doesn't even get Nautilus. Well, Trundle is destroying as well with Zeri. Oh, the tower shots will eventually... No, not quite. They even get the tower. The game's just over. And Syndicate Strokers win the series.
Luxodon able to finally get back line there at the end of the fight, finish off, get the double kill. Poor Dark Magician just fighting two big slabs of meat in between, able to get one, not able to get the other, and Trundle on that side push just eventually, when left alone, able to just chomp things down. He wasn't even.
And you know, we did mention in the back, you know, Hep was on vacation, comes back, has to play jungle for his team whenever he hasn't played it before. But just put him on a Mumu. It'll be fine. You know, maybe he's not doing the optimal gank path. Maybe he ends the game with less gold than the opposing jungler despite winning. You can still press R. It's fine.
That's all you need your mover to do. Just press R. Guys.
Exactly.
Just R.
And that ultimate was an top tier Amumu ultimate. It wasn't even like, oh, he pressed R. What a great Amumu. Clap, everyone. That was like a really good Amumu ult that just won them the game on the spot whenever it was looking like they were looking ahead. Not where it was going to be the end of the game until suddenly Hep says, I'm done with it. We're ending the series now.
I do like the adjustments they made. They putting him on the Amumu helped, but also just questionable on the Young putting on the brand. It's such a weird, odd kind of pick to be putting him on, especially when you had him on the Amumu, you had him on all these tanks, and then all of a sudden you're putting him on the brand, and yeah, brand has the damage, but against an Amumu early, brand doesn't have the damage, and Hep was able to get clear controls of those objectives and ultimately able to capitalize and close out the game.
That being said, if you are against OMT Zeus, you've got to do some weird scouting, because apparently they can just put their support mid and do fine. Like, Dark Magician Girl was not the weak link at all, despite switching roles. Completely put on a clinic mid lane multiple games. You know, made some questionable decisions that maybe could be punished by a more ready team. But whenever you're against this team, you have to be aware whenever they announce their roster, are they putting her mid or not?
Love to see Ezreal eating forward constantly.
I don't know if I would put it that way. I mean, obviously she did very much. I don't know if I love to see it.
love to see him eating forward to get more damage in. Absolutely, 100%. That's what I want to see from all Ezreals now on. Don't be eating to run away. I need you to eat forward. Get to that battle quicker.
Yeah, and honestly, I just think that the draft was just such a difference in Game 3. Because if you look at every other stat, I mean, the Dragons clearly were nice for Syndicate Strokers, but the fact is they were down kills whenever they won the game. Yes, they were up gold. Yes, they were up objectives, but it wasn't like it was like this clear, you know, game plan forward to back, follow it through. They got the lead early against Ornn, which is what you need to do. Trundle getting a lead early is very important. But if they didn't end the game right there with that Amumu ult, there was still concerns of the Ornn becoming relevant late game, especially with the Sivir. So I really appreciate their adaptations to the draft, as we mentioned before, because I do think that was a major part of why they won Game 3.
10 minutes quicker than all the other games. Every other game is 37 minutes. This one was 27 minutes. So identifying they should probably close this one out a little bit faster, playing to their strengths, kind of help them out. And you love to see Hep being able to get to objectives first this time around, able to get more control, especially with that brand pick, taking a little bit more time to come on in the jungle. But good matches, good fighting all the way through.
Yeah, and for sure, the bot lane of Syndicate Strokers definitely performed as well. The last few games, just Luxodon getting a lead pretty early and consistently. You know, Vayne was a very good pick for Shayesta, but once you took her off of it, Luxodon really popped off as well.
I was hoping to see Vayne mid that game too.
So you're just sad because of the Vayne went bot lane? Okay then. Regardless, that's our series. Both teams having their first debut on and putting on quite a show. Wondering if Dark Magician Girl will go back to support in the future or what's up with that. But we'll have to find out as the weeks carry on. Thank you everyone for joining us for LXE today. Thank you, Astro, for joining us last minute to cast as well.
Hey, I'm here. And thanks, Soul, for being our wonderful and amazing, nice, loving, caring producer. And of course, Vish, who's really the secret sauce behind everything here and does all the actual work, while Soul just gets to pretend to do work.
Of course, of course. Either way, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back tomorrow for our final day of the week in Warden, and then we will be back with Crusader on the 14th. So thank you all for watching.